Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Nightcap. Y'all know me, your favorite unk, Shannon Sharpe, my partner and co-host, the Liberty City legend, the Bingo Ring of Fame honoree, the Pro Bowler, the All-Pro. That's Chad Ochocinco Johnson. And joining us tonight, we have a very special guest to help us break down all things NBA, and he will be chiming in on the Shedeur Sanders going 144 to the Cleveland Browns. He's an NCAA champ with the Kentucky Wildcats in 1996. He's an NBA champ 2006 with the Miami Heat, a career 17 and a half point scorer in the NBA, three-time All-Star, Antoine Walker. Antoine, thanks for joining us. Please make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit the like button and go subscribe to the Nightcap podcast feed wherever you get your podcast from. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you for your continued support, because without you, there can be no us. And especially in times like this, we really need your support. So thank you very much. Make sure you check out Shea by LaPortier. We do have it in stock. Now, if you cannot find it in a city or a state near you, order it online. We'll ship it directly to your door. Please drink responsibly and stay safe out there. Go follow my media company page on all of its platforms, Shea Media, and my clothing company, 84 with 84 being spelled out. Everything has restocked. The link is pinned in the chat. Supplies are limited, and once they're gone, they're gone. So please grab yours while supplies last. Tickets for our Not Safe for Work tour are on sale now. 8 stops are Bmore, Philly, Charlotte, LA, Miami, NYC, Chicago, and we're going to close things out in Detroit. Tickets can be found at shayshaymedia.com/tour. That's shayshaymedia.com/tour. That link is also pinned in the chat. Guests are shaping up real nice. Guys, you don't want to miss this. So if we come into a city near you, make sure you come out and check out Nightcap with Unc and Ocho. We would greatly, greatly appreciate your support. We got a lot of to get into Shedeur stuff. He finally got drafted, and his brother is a free agent. He's going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But first, we got to go with basketball. The last two games were very interesting to the very end. The first one, Ocho, y'all in trouble. Y'all in trouble. But let's start with the Warriors. With a 104-93 victory, Steph Curry got it going. Hey, when he's off the court, they're not the same team. But he came back, and they are a very different team. 36 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. They did all of this without Jimmy Butler. They got some timely. I think Buddy Hield had 17 points. GP the second, 2. He came off the bench, man, and he was sensational, playing outstanding defense and made some timely threes, and he really closed the game out. Steph Curry is the oldest player in NBA history to have a playoff game in which he scored 30 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists with 5 made threes. Steph Curry assisted or scored on 16 of the 23 points they had in the third quarter. The Warriors did not score a single basket with Steph wasn't on the court in the first half. That just goes to show you just how valuable he is, because he opens it up for so many other people, because you have to double him because he has unlimited range. Twan, you're watching this game, and it looked like Houston, like, oh, damn, Houston might go on the road and steal the first one on the road. Playing very, very well. Jalen Green was playing out of his mind. Sengun, DB Dylan Brooks playing well, but he got in foul trouble. He goes to the bench. What did you like about what you saw from the Warriors, and how were they able to pull this out after being behind the majority of the game?
Actually, to be honest, I like the fact that, Steph obviously played great. He's going to have a monster game with Jimmy being out, but man, Buddy Hield and Gary Payton II, man, came up huge. When those guys score the basketball, they become real dangerous, and that's what they need, because Draymond Green at this point in his career is not going to score the ball. He's going to do a lot of intangibles. He's going to rebound. He's going to defend. He's going to get some steals. So they got to get scoring for Steph. When Steph, you got to have somebody else that's going to help Steph out, and that's what made it great tonight, to see those guys step up. You never know what's going to happen with Golden State. Steve Kerr's been messing with Kuminga this series too. Hasn't really been letting him play. So you don't know who's going to show up big, especially with Jimmy out. But a huge game. And Steph being Steph, that's one thing about, Steph probably can win 2 games in the series by himself. And this was one of them tonight.
Yeah, at this point in his career, Draymond he's never been a scorer. He doesn't really look to score. He's looking to do a great job of handling the ball, setting great picks, rebounding, defending, as you mentioned, and initiating the offense. Gary Payton, the second in the fourth quarter, he had 11 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. He was 100% from the floor, 100% from the 3. He played exceptional in the second. When he got in there, he and Buddy Hield, as you mentioned, Twan. Ocho, what'd you like about what you saw from the Warriors?
I mean, listen, I like what I saw from the Warriors. Obviously, Steph did what Steph normally does. But listen, like Twan said, I thought the Rockets was going to steal a game, especially with the way they were playing Steph. They had somebody running, tracking him everywhere, all over the court. You know, them young boys, you know, everybody over there young. So they trying to set screens and set picks, and they on Steph, and they contesting everything, making every shot difficult all the way up until the half. And listen, he just exploded in the second half, hitting a lot of shots. But I think one of the reasons with Jimmy Butler being out, obviously you need a Steph to have a game like this today, and he can go off like this and win a game by himself. He had 36, 12 or 23. But the supporting cast, Buddy Hield went crazy with 17. Gary Payton Jr. contributed as well with 16. And the Warriors bench outscored the Rockets 42-31. And that was a major factor in why they were able to win this game.
Well, it looked like they started out early, Twan. They was blitzing him. They was trapping him, getting the ball out of his hands. They want to make him give it up. And if you notice, later in Steph's career, Steph is, sometimes I thought early, he would force the three. Steph doesn't have a problem putting the ball on the floor and going to the basket now, Twan. That makes him dangerous because they've used before, like, hey, nah, bro, we're not worried about you driving the ball, so we going to hug up on you. Nah, Steph said, nah, he handles too good, bro, because I can put it on, I can go behind my back between my legs and I can finish with either hand. And he's unafraid to shoot that mid-range also. So his game, when he gets that three ball going, when he shoots the ball and he's turning, he starts, hey, I got something for y'all. Y'all get that up out the net. They dangerous, Twan. They dangerous.
Listen, I just think with Houston, Udoka has to respect the fact that Steph Curry is who he is. Obviously, he's one of the greatest players of all time. You got to double it, take the ball in his hands. You got to make one of those other guys see if they can get 20, 25 points tonight. You can't allow Steph, especially in a game. Once Jimmy Butler was not playing, I would have doubled Steph the whole game. I wouldn't allow Steph to beat me. I would have seen if Kuminga. I would have seen if Buddy Hield, Gary Payton II. Even though Buddy Hield and Gary Payton II, I thought played terrific tonight. Let's see if they can do it in all series long. I'm not gonna just let them beat me. I can't let Steph beat me. If he has, he's going to have one of those nights where nobody's going to be able to. But you got to flat out guard him and double team him as much as possible and make somebody else beat you if Houston wants to win. Because Houston don't have enough scoring. I love Houston. I love their mentality. I love the way they play. They play hard. But in this league, you got to score some points. They just don't have enough firepower offensively. So if you're not going to be able to score the basketball, you got to defend at a really, really high level.
I think the thing is, Twan, is that they're so athletic and they're used to getting up and down. But come playoff time, they're gonna make your ass play in the half court. So you better be able to run some sets. And that's if you go back and look at Golden State, look at when they made their run. They were able to run set. Steph is perpetual motion. He's not gonna stop. So if you think you got him guarded on one side, you better tell the guy, hey, Harry, come over to you so he can be on his best behavior because somebody's gonna set a pick. Because so you have to watch him. You have to keep your eyes on him at all times. Because if you turn your head for just a second, he'll backdoor you, or they'll hit that flare to him to the corner, and then now he's splashing a three in your eyes, and you're like, well, damn. And you can guard good for 21, 22, 23 seconds, and he'll let the ball go, and it splash. And it's so demoralizing when you play defense for that long, Twan, and you don't have anything to show for it. Go ahead, Ocho.
No, I was going to say the same thing. I think the Rockets did a very, very good job in trying to contain him and do as much as they can to disrupt his rhythm, obviously in the first half. But no one would, even though they have the younger legs, they were unable to continue to do that. Obviously, Steph going off, and at some point, he's one of those players. And no matter what the game plan is, you just hope to contain him because you're not going to be able to stop him, and that's what Young Bull did tonight.
Yeah, the thing is, if he see one or two of them go in, and you can play the perfect defense, and you saw he'll start falling out of bounds and launching the ball. You're like, that ain't got no business going in. That should not have fallen, but it does, and it gives him a jolt of energy. So now you got your work cut out for him because, like Twan say, you might have to blitz him or trap him at half court. You got to make him give that ball up and make someone else beat you. Let's see if Buddy Hield can go get 36. Let's see if Gary Payton II, if he can go get mid-20s, because I cannot let Steph do what he does and let these auxiliary guys do what they're due by adding to that. If you do that, you're asking for a lot. But I agree with you, Twan. I thought with minus Jimmy Butler, I say, you know what? Anybody but Steph. Anybody but Steph. ABS. Anybody but Steph.
And you know what? And I have a lot of respect for you, Doug. I think he's one of the great young coaches in the league. I just got to make somebody else beat me. I cannot let Steph beat me. Once Jimmy Butler puts a DMP and he don't put that uniform on, I'm making somebody else beat me. I just can't do it. I can't see Steph with 37, 40 points and really controlling and dominating the game. I'm pretty sure they're gonna look at the film and Udoka's a little stubborn. We all know that. You got to give. I mean, Steph is probably top 10, top 15 player to ever play the game. Let's respect that and let's double team. Let's respect it and double team them and force somebody else to beat you. You can't just play hard-nosed defense unless you got one of those guys. I know Dylan Brooks is his defensive specialist, and he knows he's tough. But if you don't have a guy that's going to chase and run for 40 minutes, what Steph is going to do, and a guy that's going to have the ball in his hands the whole game, just double team him, get it out of his hands, and make somebody else beat you.
Well, I thought Dylan Brooks got in foul trouble. And the problem is that he knows the type of defense that Dylan Brooks is going to play on him. I think you got to give him a lot of different looks because it's just like anything. You give a guy enough, he'll build up in the resistance to it. And he'll understand, okay, this is how you're going to play me. This is the way you play. Okay, this is what I need to do. So, and once Dylan Brooks got in foul trouble, they tried Amin Thompson on him. They tried some other different guys. But now you let him see a couple of those shots go in. And you know the NBA is such a rhythm game. A guy that might not be one of these great players, he see a couple of shots go in.
Oh, and also too, don't forget to add Golden State at home. So Golden State at home. So you tend to play better. Not only just the role players play better at home, your main guy play better at home. I mean, obviously you want your star to get you a big game on the road, but Steph has huge games in that arena. You got to think about that too, that home crowd too. So I'm just going to try to disrupt them, get them out their rhythm. They're missing a key piece. When they're missing Jimmy Butler, a guy that brings so much to their team, you got to double team Steph. There's no other way that you're going to be able to beat Golden State, especially at home, because those others are going to play better at home. They at home, it's kind of like it's an ongoing saying that the others play better at home. They feed off the crowd. You get great production from those guys at home. Now, if you wanted that strategy on the road at Houston, okay, maybe, but at home, those guys are going to make shots. They're going to feed off the crowd. And that's where you've seen Buddy Hield and Gary Payton II have nice nights.
Not only did you let Steph go get 36, you let him have 9 assists. So now you allowed him to bring others to the party. It was supposed to be, I told you it was Steph, not a +1, +2. Steph was supposed to come to the party by himself, Twan. So now you let him sneak 2 other guys in the party. So now it's 3. When it was only supposed to be 1, I said him 1. I didn't say a 1 + 1 or 1 + 2. I said, Steph, you invited to this party. Okay, lo and behold, he bring Buddy Hield and Gary Payton II. Now look what happened. They all dancing. They done got rid of the DJ. They playing their own type of music. Ocho. They doing what they wilding. So
matchups mean everything too, though. Sometimes if I'm Houston, I may not want that matchup. Sometimes that can happen.
Because their key players are battle tested in these situations. Houston isn't. You see Steph Curry, Draymond, they've been here, done that. Although Jimmy hasn't won a title, he's taken a team to the NBA Finals twice. So he knows what it's like. Kevon Looney, he's done that. Kuminga and Moody, they was on that team. Although they didn't get very many minutes, they understand these moments. Houston haven't been in these moments before. It is a different type of an atmosphere. It's a different type of environment. And you have to be there and be in it to understand what it's actually like. I'm not so sure that these guys understand what it's like. You're like, oh, you have to go through the fire. That's why it's so hard for first-timers to win the championship. Now, it's happened, but you need to be battle-tested in situations like that, and I don't think Houston is battle-tested enough in that situation. And another thing, Twan, who's their go-to guy? You see, most teams, they got a go-to guy they go to. The Celtics going to go either to JT or JB. You got the Clippers, they're going to put the ball in Kawhi's hand or they're going to put it in James Harden. You get the Nuggets, Jamal Murray or Yoke's touching that ball. Lakers, you got LeBron, you got Luka, you got Ant-Man for the opposing teams, you got Banchero. I don't know if I can definitively say I want to get the ball to this guy right here and let him go do something special. I think they're built on, they're an assembly type team. So, hopefully guys playing well, we can get out on the break and use our athleticism and our youth. But when they get you in a half court set, you better have somebody that can go one-on-one, or it's getting late in the ball game. You need that person.
I mean, hey, Antoine, before you answer, obviously, I think about Van Vliet. You know, a veteran presence. He's on the court. He's used to being one of the guys that normally has the ball in his hands and can create and make things happen. But Jalen Green is their guy. He's supposed to be their guy.
Oh,
He's the one that can make things happen. He can put the ball on the floor. He can create space. He can take people on one-on-one. So collectively as a group, they have to get it done. If, based on what you're saying, if they don't have their Anthony Edwards, they don't have their Luka or their LeBron on their team, or their Steph Curry, Jalen Green has to step up and be that guy, especially in moments like this, and use the youth to their advantage.
Shannon,
Go ahead,
you
Twan.
just when you start off with your question, you named everybody a superstar or two on everybody team. When you think about Houston, like you say, Chad, it's by committee. It's not really
Yeah.
one guy we can really pinpoint that's going to be that guy.
Mhm.
And that's something that eventually the upper management, they're going to have to try to go out there and maybe get a guy, a
Kevin Durant,
to go along with the group they got. Because they got to, they got to. I would love to see him with a young core like this. I would love to see him with a young core like this, but they don't have that guy. So this is their first time going through it. So I just think with Jalen Green, still young, doesn't understand. He hasn't played well this series either. He didn't play well at home, and he hasn't really played well. Because you got to
he
think,
played well that
superstars
last
give
game. He
themselves a
played well
chance.
that
So what I
last
mean
game,
by this-
Twan. The first game he didn't play
but
well.
you got,
The
I got to
last
put
game,
that. You got to put that thing up 25 times, huh? 25, 30
Okay.
times. I got to give myself a chance.
Mhm.
You know,
Okay.
if I'm gonna be a superstar, I got to give myself a chance, especially on the road. I gotta. Somebody on that Houston team's got to say, "Him." Even if it's Flambeau, he's been there before. If it's Fred's been there. Get on my back.
Yeah.
Somebody got to take
Hey.
over.
Yeah, Fred
It's
ain't
not gonna
played well
happen
though.
just by committee.
I don't think Fred
Hey,
has played well.
hey.
Go ahead, Ocho. Go ahead, make your point, Joe.
No, I want to ask Twan. Hey, Twan, based on when it team to team, now you could probably give me a little help on this. Team to team, obviously you have certain players that have the green light to be able to put the ball up and shoot whenever they want, you know, regardless of where they're missing, trying to get themselves in the rhythm. Isn't Jalen Green that guy that has that green light to be able to do that?
Oh, without question, he definitely has that green light with them. He's probably he's probably 1A, and I'm gonna say Fred maybe 1B. The guys that have the
Right.
green light that can just come down and shoot. I'm gonna just say those two guys have it.
Okay.
Jalen Green did not play well. He was 4 of 11, 1 for 5. It was kind of a very similar situation in game one, in which they played and they ended up losing that game, and the game really wasn't close. They made a run at Golden State late in the ball game, but the game, I think it got the closest they got was maybe 4 or 6 with like a minute to go. But he has to play. He has to play better. I don't think Fred VanVleet has played well this year. Now I know he's been nicked. Twan, and I know he's more than capable. That's why he got the big money to come to Toronto. But he hasn't played well, and in order for them to win, because he's the one that's been in these situations with Toronto, he won a championship, so he knows what it's like. But I think in order for them to have a chance, he's gonna have to play much better than what he's playing.
I got so much respect for you, Doka. I don't think the series is over. But this is going to be a deep series. I think Houston has a chance to make some adjustments. They can see what they did wrong and really respond to this, because you don't know how long Jimmy's out. We haven't got the word how long Jimmy's going to be out. If Jimmy has to sit a couple games, this series is still wide open. Now, if you get Jimmy back, they're probably going to be a little outnumbered to be able to beat the Golden State Warriors. But if Jimmy's not going to sit out, which I'm probably sure Steve Kerr's probably going to say, hey,
he got a game.
He
He might send him out.
one more off.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, he's gonna probably say, take the next game off. Let's get you to 100% and get you back to 100%. So I just think this young team, this is their first time going, and we got so much respect for them because they had such a great season, and they're 3 seed, but they're inexperienced a little bit. You see some of, I'm sorry, 2 seed. You're right. So we put a lot of thought that they're going to be really good, but you see the mistakes. You seeing them right now. Throughout the game and throughout the series, the mistakes that they're making. And I don't know if they're going to be able to recover. Steph is too good. They got them veteran guys. Everybody on Golden State have been in meaningful games throughout their career. It's going to be hard to beat Golden State. This was the game they needed. Without Jimmy tonight, you could have put a little pressure on Golden State. Now I think Golden State feels good about themselves.
But when you think about it, you thought about all the teams that could potentially be the 7th seed. I think all of them pretty much would have been favored. If the Clippers the 7th seed, I think they would have been favored over Houston. I think damn near anybody. Minnesota, I think they would have been favored over Houston. Golden State is favored over Houston. I think Lakers would have been favored. I don't see a scenario because of their youth and because of the lack of, because every team that I mentioned, they have a bona fide superstar. Some have two. The Nuggets, we know what Jokic.
You just said the magic word. You gotta, you know this. You gotta have superstars. Playoff time. During the season, because your legs are fresh, and you guys know that's through a season and everything else. Young guys gonna have fresh legs. Older guys are it's gonna take them a while to rev up, but come playoff time, they know how to win. They know how to preserve. It's no back-to-back games. Nobody ever talk about that. I always tell people it's no back-to-back games. So you get time to get that body, get rejuvenated, get in the cold tub, get yourself back together. That's why it doesn't bother Golden State. A team like that has some veterans on their team. They're going to get a couple of days off. They right back at it, but they get the rest. But these young guys got to understand that and figure out different ways to be effective. I think with Houston, you have to respect what they have, and that's double team Steph. You can't let Steph beat you. If I'm Udoka, I'm going to put my pride to the side. I know they want to be this tough defensive team, and you're supposed to have a couple guys that can guard individually. I'm going to respect Steph as a top 10 player to ever play this game, and I'm going to double team him and make Buddy Hill, make Gary Payton, this third second.
Moody, Kuminga, somebody.
Yeah. They got to beat me. I'm going like back in the old school days. I'm running across half court. I'm trapping Steph. Just forcing it out of his hand a little bit, making some other guys take some shots. You can't have a night like tonight where you get 4 or 5 other guys in double figures and Steph gets 30. That's going to be tough to beat him that way.
You're absolutely right. And another thing, I'm Central. I ain't going nowhere. Because guess what? I ain't got to play in Orlando and then leave that night and go to Miami. And then come back up the road and go to Atlanta. And then I hit Charlotte. And then I'm up to Boston. I ain't got no long road trip. Hey, I'm here. So I might be here for 4 days, but I'm here. I don't have any travel. Whereas in the regular season, you got travel. And like you said, those young legs can take advantage. Now we stationary. We ain't going nowhere until we leave and have to go back home. Well, that favors a team that's been there, that knows what it's like to be in situations like this, and to be able to okay, this is what we need to do. Lock in this right here. And teams that have been here, Ocho, they know how to put you in the half court set. You got to be able. They're not gonna let you get up and down. They're not gonna let you get up and down. You've got to execute in a half court set. And execution normally comes from guys that have been there. And as Twan keeps saying, superstar players. Look at the teams and they have at least one. Some of them have 2 superstar players that understand this moment and how to get it done. Go ahead.
It's the reason why Golden State made the trade they did for Jimmy Butler. They wasn't going to leave. They knew they couldn't continue to leave Steph Curry on that island by himself. Don't get me wrong. I love Drake. I love Draymond Green. He's probably going to be a Hall of Fame. But Draymond Green is not a scorer. He's a more of a utility player. He's going to get you 4 or 5 rebounds, 6, 7 assists, play defense. He's going to do all the intangibles. But they needed another bona fide scorer to go along with Steph Curry, and that's why you saw the addition of Jimmy Butler. So that's the same thing with Houston. You're figuring this out right now. You had an exceptional season. I'm not saying the series is over, but you have to respect what you got right now on the roster. You don't have a guy, you don't know who's going to get 25 or 30 for Houston. We got to wait and see. You know what I mean? We don't know right now. We waiting to see who's going to show up. And you're asking some young guys, Jalen Green, these guys first time around in the rodeo, second time playing in meaningful games like this. It takes some time, but you got to respect Steph. All I'm going to say, I would love to see you, Udoka. Don't be stubborn. Respect Steph, double him, and make somebody else beat you. That's how I want to go home.
Hey, I mean, listen, and to make the series obviously interesting, also the head coach, Udoka, he could go talk to Van Vliet. He could talk to, Brother Green and say, man, listen, in order for to have a chance, not only are we going to double step and do what we need to do defensively on him, you got to exert some injury, but on the offensive end, man, y'all, if you see it, pull it. If you see it, pull it every time. I need you to put up 22, 25 shots a game. It's the only way. And because we don't have a bona fide superstar. I need one of y'all to fill that role and put your cape on.
Yeah, but if they don't win this game, it's over, because I don't believe they can beat them 3 times in a row. If Golden State win this next game at home, it's over. Series over, Twan. They're not beating them. They're not beating them 3 games in a row. Ain't happening.
No, this was the big game tonight. You need to steal this one. You let one slip away on your home floor, which obviously that killed you. You would love to go on the Golden State up 2-0. That didn't happen. So when that doesn't happen, you got to win game 3 to get control back of the series. Now it's back to Golden State because now you're able to win one without Jimmy. Now he gets 2 games off now with a couple days sprinkling in rest. So you don't even have to bring him back because worst case scenario, you 2-2. So now you get Jimmy get a chance to get a few extra days of rest. It's just going to be tough for Houston because they're going to have to find scoring. I don't know where that's going to come from. They're still young. Jabari Smith, those young guys don't have enough mental toughness to say, hey, I'm going to get 20 shots up. They ain't did it all year. They play by committee. You know what I mean? They're not going to shoot the ball and be aggressive like that. So it's going to be tough to do that. But they're going to be competitive. They're going to be games like tonight. They're going to compete. Your Dunker's going to have them ready. But I just think they're a little outmatched. Sometimes matchups matter in the playoffs, and I think they're a little outmatched right now.
Say, Twan, so there's no scenario in which
tonight was that game.
Yeah. So there's no scenario in which you see the Rockets even having a chance. You really think this series is over?
You got to win with it. With no Jimmy Butler, you got to get the win. So now, I'm assuming that Steve Kerr's going to probably.
I think you're going to rest him again.
Down the line, maybe I can get Jimmy a couple extra. Yeah, me too. So you rest Jimmy again. Worst case scenario, you still 2-2. I still like Golden State in that scenario.
Right.
You had to win tonight. I think tonight you had to take over the series, and then you build that confidence. And then now Jimmy may want to play the next game. He not feeling 100%. You know what I'm saying? Now he comes back, and now he can kind of throw their rhythm off a little bit. But now I think the momentum's completely in Golden State's hand. They in control of the series now.
The most interesting game of the night, the Nuggets and the Clippers. And all of these games, with the exception of game 3, have come right down to the end. The series is now tied 2-2. And Twan, I don't know if you're old enough to remember, when this happened, the first thing went through my mind, NC State, Houston, 1983, and Albuquerque, New Mexico. Derek Whittenburg shoots the shot. Lorenzo Charles dunks it in at the buzzer. They beat Elijah Wan, Clyde Drexler, that great Houston Cougar team, coached by Coach Guy Lewis, rest his soul, and they pull off the national championship. Very, very similar situation. Replay center officials confirmed the ruling. It was a good basket. The ball was out of his hand when the buzzer went off. According to ESPN research, Aaron Gordon dunk was the first ever game-winning buzzer-beating dunk in NBA postseason history. Jokic. Look, Shea's going to win the MVP. Jokic is the best player in the NBA. 36 points, 21 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals. He joins Giannis as the only players with a 35-25 playoff game over the last 20 seasons. He was great when he needed to be great. And I don't know what adjectives or adverbs or whatever we want to use to describe this man, Twan.
Yeah.
But we can't sing his praise or heap praise on him enough. That third quarter was a thing of beauty. They stretched the lead to 25 to 20. But I know, I'm noticing this, and tell me, am I delusional? When teams get down, it seems like everybody likes to jump into that zone. The Clippers jumped into a zone, and it really threw them off their rhythm because the guys started taking early threes. Michael Porter Jr. took a couple. I think Aaron Gordon took a couple. I think Murray took a couple. And it allowed them to get, and they started trapping, forced some turnovers, and they got themselves back into the ball game. But the Nuggets absolutely had to win this game in order to make this a series. I can see this being a 7-game series. What did you like about what you saw from the fight and the determination? Because normally, Twine, you have a lead that big and you lose it and the team take the lead, you're like, we cooked.
Honestly, with Denver championship team, you just seeing it right now. Those guys been in the wars. They've been there before. They don't get rattled. I think with the Clippers, and you just alluded to it a little bit, you got to pick your poison. I mean, don't get me wrong. Jokic is going to get his numbers, but you got to decide it's going to be 36 or 26. And what I mean by that, you got to double him You got to double him with a purpose. I can't get a triple double with 30, because now the chances are you're going to lose that game if he's able to get 30 points.
Yes.
You got to make Murray. You have to make, Gordon, you have to make Michael Porter Jr. beat you. You have to decide. T. Lue has a great basketball mind. Jeff Van Gundy, I know, is over there orchestrating the defense. You can't let him have his cake and eat it too. Y'all guys heard that saying too. When you ever got your cake and eat it too, you can't give them both. You got to take away one. And they didn't do that tonight. When you look at the numbers, you see 36, 21, and 8. That means he did everything.
Yeah.
You got to take
assists.
Yeah, I'd rather them have 15 assists and 20 points. Now I know at least I got a chance. But if you're going to give them 30 points, they don't have a chance to beat them. The Clippers got to remember, the Clippers are missing a really important piece off the scoring from last year. Obviously, Paul George is a big piece to replace on the scoring side. Norman Powell was great today. They're not getting much at the point guard position as far as scoring, if the Clippers are not. They're kind of doing that by committee. I think the big fella's playing as good as he can play. Zubac's playing against.
Excuse me.
He's playing unbelievable. You're playing against, arguably the best center ever to play the game. He may end up as the best center ever to play the game. And you're playing him one-on-one most of the time and trying to guard him and score. So they're doing a good job in that sense. I just think the Clippers have to make a decision on. We can't give them both. Which one are we going to give him? Are we going to make him a passer, or are we going to let him be a scorer?
Yeah,
I ain't going to lie to you. He's that good. I don't know which one to do right now.
It's hard.
I would have to really watch the film, Chad. I ain't going to lie. I got to watch the film and kind of figure out maybe the percentages. These guys are all analytical now. So maybe maybe some percentages that can tell you which way to go. But, man, I can't sit and watch them do both.
But hey, this is the thing too, right, Twan? Listen, what happened if you do double him? You catch him up top, you catch him down in the post, and you double him, force him to kick the ball out. But when you have Michael Porter Jr., Christian Braun, and you got Jamal Murray playing and contributing the way they are tonight, it wouldn't matter if he does get 20. If he doesn't get 30, they gonna counter for the points that he doesn't score with the way they played tonight.
Well, I want to see him get 5 guys. I want to see him get 5 guys in double figures again. I'm gonna try to lose that way, but I'm gonna lessen that 30.
Okay.
I'm gonna make that 36, 23 at least.
Right.
I don't want it to be 30. It can't be 36 and 5 guys in double figures. That's what happened tonight. You get that? You can't nobody beat them like that.
Right.
And plus the thing is that you let him get it in an efficient manner. Now, if he gets 36 and it took him 30 shots, then you can live with that, Twan.
Great point. That's a great point.
You let him get that. You let him get those numbers in an efficient manner. He's 14 to 25.
Yeah, that's a great point.
You let him. Go ahead.
I know Jeff Van Gundy. We all know Jeff Van Gundy. Great defensive mind, one of the greatest defensive minds that coach basketball. He has to. He's went against Michael Jordan. He's went against Kobe Bryant. He's went against some of the greatest scorers that ever played the game. You got to decide which one. You can't just take both of them. You can't just let this guy. You can't take the triple double and the 30 points. You can't let that happen. You got to make a decision on whether or not I'm going to double team this guy and make him a passer. Nuggets only hit 10 threes tonight. They didn't hit a lot of threes. They hit 10. No. The Clippers hit 10. So you're even in the 3-point category tonight. So I got to take my chances. I'm going to respect this guy, could possibly be the MVP again. He's probably one of the top 5 greatest centers to ever play the game. You have to respect guys. That's what I was saying about Steph. You have to respect guys and what they bring to the game and how much a difference they make to their team. I can't let Joker have both of them. That's just me. I'm not going to. And T. Lue, you got to figure out, I'm not going to let them do both.
Yeah, I thought they the other night he had a triple double, but it was in a losing effort. He was since he's Nicole. There's a reason why he's won 3 MVPs in the last 5 years. He's probably going to finish second this year. He's been second every other time that he didn't win the award. I don't think this year's going to be any different. He's sensational because we've never seen a center that can do all that he can do on the offensive end. He has no weakness. Footwork is impeccable. He can shoot the 3. He has a turnaround. He can play with his back to the basket. He can run the offense. Hey, you come with a double team, he knows, oh, that's you. So my man, this guy's supposed to be over here without even looking. Whoop, whoop, whoop. He's that kind of an IQ basketball player. Go ahead, Twan.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You got to respect him. Respect the skill set. Respect what he brings to the table, and try to take something away. And then you got to try to double team, get the ball out of his hands, make somebody else beat you. I want to take my chances. If it's me, I'm going to double team him, and I'm going to see how many Michael Porter, Jamal Murray, see if Aaron Gordon. I'm going to see how many shots those guys can make. I'm going to see if one of those guys can go off. I'm gonna try to
They
just
need
I'm gonna double team Junker and frustrate him. Get it out of his hand.
they need to get a
He
little bit
catch it,
more
double
from
team.
I think they need to get a little bit more from Chris Dunn. I thought Kawhi played really well, especially in the second half of the fourth quarter. He was really good. Zubas is giving you everything. I mean, he's giving you what he averaged in the regular season, 19 and 12. Harden, I like to see Harden be a little bit more aggressive. He only took 11 shots. I like to see Harden around 15 to 18.
I think he's trying to pick his spots. If you kind of watch him, he's not like overly aggressive. He's trying to get his teammates involved, but I think at certain times he has to be aggressive. When they go to that Ben Simmons lineup, Ben
Lord.
Simmons ain't even, and Ben not even looking at the basket, Shane. He ain't even looking at the basket. So when you know what I'm saying, Chad, he's not looking at the basket. So by him not looking at the basket, bro, he in the game. He's kind of like, he's on their team. It's 6 against 4 when he's not looking at the basket. So that may be a time where James go, get into his one-on-one game and try to be a lot more aggressive. But I do agree with you. It's them nights. You need that 30, that 35, like, when Kawhi went on and had that 30, 35-point performance. You need James and Kawhi got to go get those numbers because you're not going to get much, at that center spot besides when Ben is in the game. And I know they like to play that lineup because they get Denver kind of confused a little bit and everything. And Ben is a pretty good defender. I am going to say that. He is a pretty good defender. He still can play defense. But offensively, he's such a liability. It's hard to watch sometimes. I can't believe it that he's such a liability right now.
Yeah, I'm cheating off him.
Twan, somebody like Ben Simmons that has all the potential, obviously, at one point, and what I thought, based on what I heard and what I've seen, at what point mentally does a confidence kick in and he understands how good he can actually be? And he finds himself getting in the rhythm and he finds himself getting confidence. I mean, I don't understand what the issue is. Based on him, if you look at him, you understand what he can do. He can play defense. He can score if he had the confidence and willingness to shoot the ball, whether it be mid-range, whether it be three, whether it be, taking people off the dribble to the hole. It's like he doesn't want to do anything. I don't understand. I've seen him a clear layup right there and is wide open, and he'd rather pass it off.
I think at this point it's going to take a coach that honestly believes in him, play him extended minutes, and force him to be aggressive offensively. You have to really basically like force him to be that. Remember he was playing a lot of point guard towards the end before he left New Jersey, Brooklyn. Right. But he has to like, you have to put him in position where you have to force him to be a scorer, to be a playmaker. Like him playing at center, like if I was Lou, I'd let him bring the ball up the court against Jokic, maybe put him in a pick and roll, maybe he can turn the corner. The Joker can't guard him in the open court. But you're bailing them out. You're bailing them out by not letting him be aggressive offensively for what you just talked about, Chad, because he don't want to shoot the ball. He don't want to be aggressive and attack the basket. That's what's bad about that situation.
So me personally, I think it's that ship sailed because there were times that he had the ball in his hand at Philly and he wasn't aggressive. And Joel Embiid said what he said. Doc Rivers said what he said. You see, the thing is, and I use the analogy like this, Antoine and Ocho. I can teach you to swim if you're not afraid of the water. See, if you're afraid of the water, I can't teach you how to swim. You see, Twan, you said he's afraid of the basket, so I can't teach him how to be aggressive. You see, a guy that's not afraid of the basket, hey, I miss it. Okay. Oh, well, the next one going to go in. That's not how he sees it. Plus, if he gets fouled, he doesn't want to go to the free throw line because he got the yips there. So now I'm not looking to score. And I'm not looking because they might foul me and put my butt on the free throw line. So I'm afraid of the water, so I really won't ever be able to do anything but doggy paddle or stand up in the kiddie pool. I'm really not going to try to I'm not going to put my head up under the water. Go back and look at him.
You're right. I like what you said is 100% accurate, and I think that. But I think what T. Lue is looking at is that maybe I got a quicker guy. He's been a great defender in this league. Jokic is not a guy that plays above the basket. He plays below the rim. Just a guy that I can probably put on Jokic and mix it up a little bit. Because Ben Simmons probably 6'10", 6'11".
Easy.
That's like
what?
You know what I'm saying?
Whoa. Time out. He what?
He about 6'10", 6'11", Chad.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why he playing center. That's why he's playing center.
He's that big. He's a big kid.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's 6'5", 6'6".
Oh, no way. No. The shortest he may be is 6'9". If that's the shortest he may be. 6'10", yeah, he
I
tall
think
boy, he
the
a big
is
boy.
60, yeah.
Man, he's supposed to be out there dogging it, man. I'm talking about like, man, stop
But see,
playing
Yeah,
with me.
that boy didn't get $100 million contract because he was 6'5". He's
Which one?
6'10", 6'11", with them handles.
See, what concerned me is that I didn't see him get any better from his rookie year until now. Go back and look at all the guys that got these big contracts. Have you seen Shea get better? Have you seen Jaylen Brown get better? Have you seen Jason Tatum get better? Have you seen Luka? Have you seen Jalen Brunson? Look at all the guys. Austin Reeves is a prime example. It's hard if you put the time in the gym for you not to get incrementally better, Twan. It's just hard. For you to stay the same tells me you're doing the same thing. Look at those guys and how they've evolved and how they've gotten better and better. Look at Kawhi. Kawhi wasn't no scorer when he got in the league. Kawhi gave you about 12, 13. Now Kawhi can give you 26, 27 when he's healthy because you see the work that he's putting in.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with y'all. You guys know this as athletes, and we are athletes. You know, sometimes guys don't want it, man. You know what I mean? We can want them to have it. We see all the individual talent. He showed us a glimpse from when he in college, his first couple years in the league, on how great he can be. And what you just said, Uncle, if he hasn't decided to put that into work, and I love T. Lue. T. Lue is one of the best coaches in the league and great motivators. And if T. Lue can't get him to playing basketball at a level that's going to contribute and help a team, then I don't know where you go from here. This is like the perfect scenario. You don't have to have the ball in your hands. You got a guy like Kawhi that's scoring the ball. All you got to do is do the intangibles on the team. But they need him to step up. You can't get donuts from him. You got to get some. You got to get something.
He
out
had
of
2
him.
points tonight.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Twan. Hey,
Yeah.
I tell you what he could do. I tell you what he could do. Tell Ben Simmons, come on down here to Miami and hang with me for 6 months. We gonna get him mentally right. 6'11".
Yes.
All this time I've been watching basketball. I think young boy. I'm thinking he's 6'6", 6'5".
Nah.
I'm thinking he's scared to shoot the ball. Obviously being in Philly, you know how Philly fans are. They do not play.
No.
They will boo you in your own stadium. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's a little reluctant to pull the trigger. He doesn't want to go to the free throw line. I understand it. I know how hard it is when you miss shots and you're feeling down on yourself, but then you have to deal with the fans. Okay, boom, that's one thing. But then I think about, well, damn, still, as many years as it's been, you got your big deal, and you still haven't got that confidence in you to be able to just, at will, just play the game you've been playing since you were young, basketball. All you got to do is take the ball, put that motherfucker in the hoop. Excuse me. Now, my mentality on him is now changing because now you telling me he's 6'10", 6'11", and he playing like he 5'10".
Yeah.
Like he 5'10". I swear for God, bring him on down here to Miami. I get him right because, hey, Twan, you gotta understand. I'm in high school. I was only 6'4", but I averaged 56 a game since my freshman year in high school.
You got proof of that?
56.
Do we got proof of that?
Yeah, 56. Listen, every night, every game, Twan, I was 56, 12, and 9. 56, 12, and 9. Same scoreline, but I chose to play football instead.
Yeah,
But I'm just thinking like, I was hungry.
A few people, UD, a few guys down there. I can get some fact checks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I played against UD. I dunked on UD twice. Yeah.
Okay.
As UD about me in high school, boy, I was the real deal. I was a mix between like Russell Westbrook, John Morant, and Kevin Durant. Yeah, I was a little bit of all that.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not, because I never seen you play. So just a little backstory. I played with Donovan McNabb, who's a great basketball player. So I'm not gonna take. I played with Donovan McNabb, great basketball player.
Wait, he can hoop?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, big time. He signed with Syracuse as a 2-sport athlete. You didn't know that?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Donovan McNabb, a 2-sport athlete. Donovan averaged 20 points a game for me. That was my second.
20?
That was my second leading scorer. Donovan McNabb. Yeah. So I can't say that you can't play because I know I done seen football players be really good. Yeah. So
I was so good. Obviously, I could have played for the Heat with Ronnie Cycli. Like they were trying to get me back then. But my grandma.
You got any footage? You got any footage?
Huh?
You got any footage?
Yeah, on VHS. I got the tapes right here in the cupboard.
Okay, that's what. Let me see a little footage. Now
I got you, man.
Okay, just a little footage.
I just think
I'm a real hooper, like I'm from New York.
I just think the thing now is, Twan, I get what you saying, Ocho, y'all get what y'all saying, but the old saying is easier to teach a child than repair a broken man. And I think right now,
whoa. No, wait. Stay right there.
I understand what he's saying. I understand what he was saying. I got him. You want to write it down, don't you? You want to write it down.
Yeah, because if you notice, kids learn to swim easier than a grown person because the kid has no inhibitions of the water. You see them throw them babies in there, and the first thing they do, they go on their back. You tell them 1 or 2 times, Twan, and they get to their back. Whereas a grown person,
and Shannon, you know this. Y'all know this in sports. You know, sometimes you can get with that coach, right? And I played with T. Lou, and T. Lou's a good friend of mine. And I just thought T. Lou would probably be that guy that can instill that confidence in him to be a lot better. Now, I didn't say he had to go out and get 15, 20 points a night.
No.
But he has to, you know, like you just said, he can't have 2 points. You're going to play you at center, or if you're going to have 2 points, let's do some of the stuff you used to do. Get 6, 7 rebounds, have 4 or 5 assists, have an impact on the game, because he's too talented. And for whatever reason, I don't know if he's lost it, but I thought with T. Lou being there and being under T. Lou that he would be able to get that out of him. And then when I seen him in the rotation, I was like, yes, this is perfect for him. Because he's going to get an opportunity with a great coach that's going to put him in a great position to do the best. Like I like the Clippers mindset. Put Ben Simmons at the center spot. Let's mix it up a little bit and see if we can get Joker. But if he don't give you nothing offensively, guys, it's no purpose in playing Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
it's no purpose.
Joker's weakness is defense. Well, Ben Simmons is not a threat at that, so it doesn't do any good. And plus, he's not playing well enough for T. Lou to give him extended minutes. So in the amount of minutes that he's playing, he's not going to be able to get you the points, the rebounds, and assists that he would if he was playing a full game. What's up, Ocho?
That's a great point.
Listen, I know you're not a tape recorder, but I need you to rewind that quote because I went to get my pen and pad. I ain't have it on me. Something about a child. It was a good one. I need that because I got 11 kids, and I need to be able to use that in my next argument.
Yeah, it's easier to teach a child than to repair a broken man.
Stay right there. That's what I'm talking about. Next time they ask for some money. Next time they ask for some money
too, Chad. I like that too.
And so that's the problem. No matter how you slice it, Ben is broken when it comes to the offensive end. Can he still slide his feet? Yeah. He's still 6'10". I mean, he ain't gonna shrink.
Looks good. He's still in great shape. Look really good.
He looks really good. But like you said, he gets the ball. Unless it's uncontested, he ain't even looking at the rim. He's looking to pass it off. He's looking to drive and kick. He's looking to do something other than score for himself. And teams realize that. So the double team is always going to come from him.
Yeah, that's true.
Put him around some folks in the offseason. I'm telling you, it happens.
No, but
you put a chihuahua. Listen, you put a chihuahua with some pit bulls in a cage. At some point, he becomes what he's surrounded by.
But if you know the small dogs, what do? They walk up to the big dogs because they don't know they're small. See, you telling me that's what I need to do. That's what he needs to do. He needs to go and place himself in that environment. Because you see, as Twan said, we're wanting something from Ben more than he's wanting it for himself. You see, I can't want that for you. You've got to want that. You've got to want to be great. So you know what, man? Hey, ain't no reason for me to be 6'10" and averaging 3 points a game. Hell, I should.
Man, he's supposed to be doing what KD's doing. I'm not saying he's KD. KD is one of the greatest scorers of all time. I'm just saying the skill set, the height and size. I mean, the length that you do have, you know, and you're a two-way player because you can do well, you only show it on the defensive side of the ball. You play good defense, and you should be able to, you know, posting up, taking people off, down in the block, down in the post, mid-range.
His confidence.
Man, taking people off the dribble out of space. Like, what
his confidence gone, though.
Man, both of you guys are Hall of Fame athletes. You know that when your confidence is gone, man, it's gone. You know you can't do nothing, man. You know we play this. You know we play our games with confidence. That's where we get our confidence, our swag. He don't have that. You can just see it.
I'm the
you
bad.
You got to play this game with swag.
You have to. You have to play it. Coaches can't give you that. You have to have a self-belief that I'm the baddest mofo out here.
Yes.
And at some point in time, they broke his confidence. They broke his confidence because the best player said, "Hey, we had a dunk and we ended up making a free throw." And they asked Doc, "Could you win a championship with a point guard like Ben?" He says, "I don't know." Instead of saying, "Of course you can," because the guy's he's an all-star player and he's an all-NBA defender. That's what he should have said. Joel Embiid said, "Hey, it's unfortunate. Hey, well, I wish we could have got an and one, but don't say, yeah, we had a layup and we ended up making a free throw. Because now the best player and the head coach doubted me. I've already had some doubt seeping in. Because normally coaches like, you feel like, hey, son, shoot that shot. I draw up a play for Twan because I know Twan is confident in his ability and he's going to go out there.
Every time.
I draw up a play for him. He's going to somehow try to find a way to break it down and pass it to somebody else.
Yeah.
But how do you, how do you let something like that bother you, huh? How do you let something like that bother you? In order to be great, people gonna always be chirping. Sometimes the calling will be coming from inside the house. Sometimes to be your own people. I don't care. No disrespect. Marvin Lewis, if you were to say, you know what, boy, I'm sick of Chad out there celebrating. I'm sick of it. I ain't stopping nothing because that's how I know how I get in my rhythm.
Right.
You know, hey, Chad, I'm gonna tell you something, Chad. I can agree with you on that. You know, I used to dance after I shoot threes.
Yeah,
and I remember.
I know how to shimmy stop playing.
Hey, look, and I promise, there was one coach that Don Nelson. I got traded to the Mavs, and he was the only coach that tried to stop me from dancing.
What?
Yeah, he was like, hey, he was like, Walk, I don't want to see you dancing. But it was already in my blood. I couldn't stop it.
Right.
So I get ahead when it's coming. You know what I'm saying? but that's a great point you made. I understand what you're saying with that. Yeah, I'm gonna do my thing. Yeah.
Every time.
Every time.
I don't care what no disrespect. Obviously, with all due respect to Ben Simmons and the game of basketball in general, there is nothing nobody can say. If I was in that environment with that kind of side, with that kind of height, with that kind of skill, with my mentality, there's a certain it factor that you can't coach. It's either in you or it's not. Kobe had it. Michael Jordan got it. AI got it.
But
Ja Morant got it. Anthony Edwards got it. You can't coach that. It's just in you. And I don't understand, how can you be like that and then play so small?
I'm gonna make this last point, and then we're gonna move on a little bit, guys. If you think about it, yeah, Kobe had confidence, but think about what the coach did. In a game against Utah, who took the last shot? They put the ball in a 17-year-old's hands. So now I got confidence. You might have confidence, but if somebody don't give you a situation for you to showcase, now what? What do I do with it, Ocho? He drew up a play and let a 17-year-old with all those veterans on there. Kobe airballed it, but it showed him. Yeah, they got confidence in old Kobe. Now he goes back into the gym and he comes back a different player.
Well, some people don't get it, man. Some people just don't get it.
Damn, man. 6'11", man. I have a nigga in the post, man.
I see you got a good ball back there. That's a good Wilson ball.
Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, this ball right here, right? This is a special ball. This ball must mean I'm supposed to have it enclosed in a case because, listen, the greatest scorer, not scorer of all time, but the NBA player who leads the NBA in most points ever scored, gave me this ball. As soon as it went in the bucket, they hit it, they taped it up, he signed it for me. This is LeBron James 50K point ball, and he signed it for me. I just want to show you that.
He ain't put it in cursive, huh? He just put King's ass on.
Yeah. Jokic was seen making adjustments and subs. When a player does this, is he undermining David Edelman? Because right before the half, the ball got the half of third quarter, and he's like, "Hey, give me Jordan, DeAndre Jordan, come in here, come in here, block Zubac, blah blah." You saw that too, okay?
Yes, I did see that.
And he's been making a lot of substitutions. You like that? I mean, what's going on?
I don't like it because, I mean, let me be honest with you, not to go back into the past, but Mike Malone, a championship coach who done a terrific job coaching that team, got fired. And it seems like the players had tuned them out. Now it seems like that's what it was. And because of Joker's doing that. I mean, Joker's at a place right now, obviously, where he's controlled the franchise, and obviously, like you just talked about, he's probably going to win another MVP trophy. He's going to be close. He probably get another MVP trophy. So I do understand a coach him having some say so, but you still can't undermine the coach. You have to listen to the coach. You got to let the coach make his adjustments. That's his job. You never want, as a player, have that responsibility. I never want to be able to control who's in the game, who's not in the game. I can always suggest. I can suggest something, but I don't want to be doing that, especially overmind the coach. It looks bad. And then it trickles down to the other players. You know that on the team. Some guys think they can do it. It's kind of, it go back to the simple rules that what time you got to be on the bus, what time you got to be, be at practice. It just goes down the line. You know what I mean? So you never want to start that. So it seems like when I saw that, like, yeah, this is probably why Malone probably got fired. They probably had a lot of extra stuff going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's tough. Joker's probably gonna be 3-time MVP. I mean, this guy.
Well, he already 3. He's gonna be a 4. I don't think he's gonna win it.
4-time MVP. Yeah,
I don't think he's gonna win it this year, Twan. But it's hard for me to see a scenario where he doesn't win at least one more, because the numbers are gonna be there. The numbers are going to be there. He's going to be somewhere between 25 and 30 points. He's going to be somewhere between 10 and 13 rebounds. He's going to be somewhere between 8.5 and 10 assists. So he's going to be there. So the numbers are going to be indicative of somebody that should more than qualified to win that award. The question is, are they going to have enough?
If he take care of his body the way he has taken care of his body for the next couple of years, he definitely will be in the running for one more, I think. It's all depending on how he take care of his body. If he take care of his body, stay injury free. I mean, I know it don't look sexy, but if he stays injury free and stay healthy, he'll be right back. You're right. He'll be in the running for another one.
Ahead of this game, Edelman accused the Clippers of pumping in fake noise in the Intuit Dome. Is that a good look? Do you want your coaches like, man, it ain't that loud. It ain't that many people up here. That's fake noise. You like your coach doing that, Twan?
No, I want the coach to believe that we can win. We don't need no extra. We should believe that we can win. Let's put together a game plan. Let's go out there and play. And really, to be honest, you don't really like that. You want your home court to create their own thing. I know in some football fields, y'all know that. Some arenas, some stadiums have their own little chants and the way they get motivated and all that. I remember back when we was trying to turn it around in Boston before they moved into the TD Northwind, we had the Fleet Center. We called it the jungle. We had because it did get so loud. Right. Because we were starting to turn it around. We were starting to become a playoff team. We were starting to win games. So our home games were exciting because we had kind of created our own energy now. Me and Paul, and we was kind of creating our own style. So I like when the fans kind of figure it out. It's kind of like growing up in Chicago. I remember growing up and watching Michael and them play, especially when they played. They had their own the national remember the starting lineup. They had that music that come out. That was them. That was their own thing. That was only in the stadium.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I remember the stadium used to be rocking. I went to see them play the Orlando Magic in the stadium when they played the Orlando Magic. Shaq and Jordan came back. Yeah. The stadium used to be rocking before they moved into the United Center. I just think, every arena got to have their own stuff. But you don't need no coaches getting into that. You don't need no help. You don't need nobody piping nothing in. This ain't college. These pros, they ain't gonna get distracted too easy.
Yeah, but the new arenas don't have that intimate feel because, you got to have all this technology. You got all these jumbotrons and you got all this fancy equipment and stuff like that. So you don't have the intimacy like you had at the Old Garden. You don't have the intimacy like you have at the Forum. You don't have the intimacy like you had at Chicago Stadium. You don't have that like you see the Packers have at Lambeau Field or the Bears at Soldier Field or the Chiefs at Arrowhead. There are some stadiums, even Heinz Field is not the intimacy like they had at Three Rivers, Ocho. So when you don't have that, it's hard to create that. Now, I get it why they do it, because the cost of these players are going up, and so we got to find a way to create revenues, and we want places to have other events other than basketball. So you see concerts, and you see tractor pulls, and you see Beyonce, and you see the NCAA Final Fours, and you see national championship games. So I get it. I get it. I totally get it. But as a professional, and plus, professional ain't college kids. Man, college kids going to paint their faces. They're going to take their shirts off. They're going to really be into it. Man, look here. Man, I paid $12,000, $15,000 for a ticket. Man, I'm going to sit there and be chilling. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Twan?
Yeah. You're right. That's right. You're gonna enjoy it the best way you can. But I don't think, I don't think that bother pros. You guys know that. The fans don't bother us, man. When we're a professional athlete, you enjoy it. They actually kind of motivate you sometimes. You get to some certain places and they get on you. You had the fans get on you.
Mm-hmm.
That motivates you to go out there and play well. So I don't think that bothers professional athletes. So I don't think they need that. You can leave that alone. Guys are too mentally strong for that these days. To me.
Thunder sweep the Grizzlies. SGA had 38 points and finally found his rhythm. In the first 3 games, he was averaging 24 points per game, but it was taking him almost 23 shots to get those. He was shooting 35% when he shot almost 52% from the floor in the regular season. He had made only 6 of 24 threes, shooting 25%, but in game 4, SGA was SGA. 13 of 24, 11 of 13 free throws. They end up sweeping the Memphis Grizzlies, and you knew it was over. They had a 27-point lead. Ja goes up, comes down, and hey, that lead dissipates. They end up losing that game, so you know it was just a matter of time before they ended up getting swept. So they passed the first test. They've been the best team in the Western Conference for the entirety of the season, Twan. So what do you think? They're going to play the winner of the Clippers-Nuggets series. What you like? Can anybody pose a threat to him?
Honestly, I just think they don't have that next guy. I think Shea should be the MVP this year. Could have won it last year. I wouldn't have had no problem with it. I think this year he gets it. I don't see the second guy. I just haven't seen. I mean, we know Williams has played great.
Excuse me.
I do like him, but I need to see him put to the test. I need to see him put to the test where he had to get 30, 35 on a given night.
Right.
So until I see that, I just don't trust them against a veteran team. I just think you get one of those, the Clippers or Denver, whichever team you face, those guys have been there before. They're gonna know how to guard you. The respect levels are a little different. They got the toughness to go in your building to get a win.
Right.
That's where they're gonna be a little different at. It's actually kind of bad for them to see either one of those teams because those teams are older teams and the veteran teams that can give them trouble because they know how to play in the playoffs. So neither one of those teams are going to be great matchups for them, but they are a great home team. And by having the best record, I always say this, it means something when you take care of business in the season because you get those most important games on the floor, on your floor. You get that 5 and 7. You get 5 and 7 on your home floor. That's why you take care of business during the season. I never forget that. You always want to have that home court advantage. So that's where they can be. That's where they can have the advantage because they play so great in that building. But it's going to be tough for them. The next rounds are going to be tough for them. Look for them to be long series. And can anybody else step up and help Shea out? We know Shea's going to have some moments where he gets 35, 40, hell, maybe even 45. Who's going to be that next guy that steps up? And that's going to be remain to be seen.
Hey, Twan, so basically, probably OKC is similar to in the same situation based on who they play, whether it be the Nuggets, whether it be the Clippers. They're going to be in a similar situation like the Rockets right now with the Warriors.
Yeah, it's just not saying that they're young. The OKC guys have been together a while. I just think, and you guys know this, and Shea goes back to what you did to start the show off. When you start naming stars, you don't even name Shea. You didn't name nobody else off OKC. That's a team that won 60 games this year. Think about it. You didn't name 2-3 guys off OKC. I just don't think, and nothing wrong with that. They have great complementary guys. They got great role players. I just don't see that next superstar, a guy that can help you win a game. Who's going to go win a game besides Shea? I want to see that. Let's see the next guy step up and get 30, 35. Let's see Shea have 10 points, a bad night, foul trouble. He don't get it done. Who's going to be that next guy that steps up for them? So that remains to be seen. That's where the test is going to come in at.
Yeah, I look, I didn't think Memphis was going to do much. And when Scottie Pippen Jr. was your best player on the Memphis Grizzlies, and I'm happy for him because he seemingly found a home in Memphis, and they're giving him opportunity to showcase his ability. But I didn't really expect much from Memphis in this series. Even with Ja, maybe they could have got a game. Maybe a game. Maybe a game. I think that game they had a 27-point lead. I think if Ja stays in, they probably win that one.
Yeah,
maybe they get a game. Maybe. Maybe all things being equal, they get 2. But I mean, you look at them. Holmgren had 11. Jalen Williams had 23. Hartenstein had 11 and 12. Shea. Uh, but what they kill you is that they're a great defensive team because they got Caruso, they got Isaiah Joe, they got Wallace, they got Lou Dort, they got Chet that can protect the rim if somebody gets beat off the dribble. They got 2 bigs. They don't have a problem playing 2 bigs, but then when they go small, they got guys that are scrappy. They can defend. Everybody can defend at an extremely high level. But I agree with you. But the question is, man, you got to be able to have Shea under control. Because if you don't, he'll end up shooting 15, 20 free throws on you. Because
you have to.
Go ahead, Antoine.
No, I'm saying you have to beat them. I do agree with you. You have to beat them. They're not gonna beat themselves. I think with the young group, they got fresh legs. They play lively. They play great at home. So they're gonna, and they got a guy. I mean, Shea is a guy. He's a guy that can get you 35, 40. That's what you want in the playoffs. They got all the ingredients to make a deep run. I just worry when you get into a series with better teams that may double team Shea and may force some other guys to beat you. Are those other guys ready to deliver at the level that you need to? Think about some of these teams. I mean, think about the Lakers. They got 2 guys that can get it done. When we talk about OKC, we just don't. Williams is great. Don't get me wrong. He's a great young player. He made the All-Star team this year. He's shown that he can be a 20, 25-point scorer. Hell, he's had some 30-point performances. But if you got to have another guy that can go to, I don't think as you get along, you start playing the better teams, they're not going to let Shea beat them. I just don't think that. I think they're going to double team. They're going to make these other guys have to beat them. If I was playing against them, that's what I would do. But the OKC did the right thing. Everything got to come through them. They got 4 games on their floor. And I think that's what they did a good job. But they played well there. And you guys know this, and you guys been watching enough basketball. The road guys play better at home. So now you got those young guys or young guys on the bench playing at home. They play a lot better. That's what the advantage is for OKC.
Yeah, because they had 5 guys, even though he went on the road, it was a close game. They have 5 guys in double figures. Holmgren had 11. Jalen Williams had 23. Hartenstein had 11. Shea had 38. And Isaiah Joe had 11. And Wiggins had 9. But that's when
you hear them numbers though, Chad. You hear them other numbers kind of low though, Chad. You see, you need somebody else. You see them other numbers a little low now. Somebody else, if you play a better team, they played Memphis.
Right.
Play one of them big dogs. It's gonna be a little different.
But you know what I like? But I like, not to cut you off, Ocho, what I like is that that Williams and Shea take most of the shots. Because you look at it, they took a combined 45 shots, and then you had Holmgren with the next most shot at 9. You had a guy took 7, one guy took 4, 1, 5, 7, 7, 8. So your big dog's eating. You got because sometimes you get to the playoffs, guys try to make a name for themselves, and that's all of a sudden you supposed to be shooting 7, 8 times, and all of a sudden you shoot 14, 15 times. No, whoa, what you doing? Coach, did you see that?
Hey, Andrew Wiggins, same.
No. Andrew Wiggins is down is in Miami with you.
Miami.
You just said that's another Andrew Wiggins.
They got
what?
They got another Wiggins on their team. Yeah, they got a young Wiggins on their team.
Yeah.
Okay.
He can score. Did not want to be Wiggins ain't bad. He can shoot the ball.
Oh yeah, I like Wallace. I like Isaiah Joe, but they all can defend. Look at Caruso can defend. Lou Dort can defend. Isaiah Joe can defend. Carson Wallace can defend. Hey, Chet Holmgren defend. So no matter, even Shea was like top 3 in steals. So no matter who you have on the court, you still have at least 3 guys that can defend on the ball at all times. And then if Shea's in there, you got somebody that can protect the paint, protect the rim. Hartenstein, I mean, look, he can't protect but he's a big body. He'll block a shot a shot here or there. I like the way they make up, but like you said, we'll see next round. Ja didn't want to be seen on camera on the bench. He saw the broadcast camera on him and put his hand over his face. Juan, you good with this?
Nah, man, I feel bad for my guy. Shannon, I remember you had me on when you was back on with Fox and we was talking about him and we had the long discussion with him, man. I just wish he's such a terrific talent, man. I just wish he'd lock in on playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? And take what come with it. That's the good good coverage you want. You want to see you want your fans to see you care about your team and that you're upset that you're not playing. That's when you want the camera on you.
Yes,
So I just hope he gets it together. I got a lot of respect for him. I want him to be, I think he could be one of the greatest players to play in the game at the point guard position. When he's
Yeah.
right, healthy, and he gives you that stretch of 20, 25 games where he's just playing basketball and not shooting a gun and not doing all those crazy things, he's one of the best players in the league.
he is.
But we just don't know if he ever going to figure it out. So I get disappointed in him a little bit on that because it's I hope this talent doesn't go to waste. Because Adam Silver, after a while, it's going to be, you're going to have to go see the big dog again, and you ain't going to like what he going to do to you.
Do you think he needs to be out of Memphis in order for him to really blossom and fully develop?
Yep, right on down here in Miami. Yep, most definitely. I'll take care of him.
Chad, he can't come to Miami. Pat Riley.
I got him.
No,
I got him.
Pat
I got
Riley,
him.
Eric Spoelstra ain't playing that, man.
That's what I mean. Sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes you need to go somewhere like this where you have two old school type coaches that approach the game of basketball different.
Ocho,
they got structure.
in the middle.
They got discipline.
You right here, right now, and you try to go all the way over here. You see all that space in between? You got to stop up in the middle, Ocho.
It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Do I think he needs another place?
Change the scenery.
I don't think he needs a change of scenery. I think they have to really strategically make sure that they keep the right guys around him. And how sometimes you bring a veteran on the team that maybe not going to get a lot of minutes that can help you control that locker room. You know how it is to help control some of the out the court activities. I think that's what they need to do. Sometimes it's good to pick up a guy like that. Maybe a guy that's not going to do much. You know what I mean? Think about that Boston Celtics team. They put Al Horford, a nice veteran, on the team with them, who's been on that team for the last 3-4 years. Been great for them. A good locker room guy. You know what I mean? That's what you need. You need some locker room guys sometime. I think that I like them in Memphis because they've been successful. They've had some winners. It's not like they're a bad team. They got some pieces there. He doesn't have to be moved, but he's going to have to clean up some things. And I think he can use another superstar. I would like to see. I don't know if they'll be able to.
Well, Triple J was supposed to be a superstar.
I don't know.
I'm just telling you, they paid him like one.
Yeah, I don't know if he kind of took a couple steps back this year.
Especially in this series.
Yeah. They was banged up this year a lot off and on, so I'm not gonna put too much on this season and the coaching change and all that stuff they went through. That firing of the coach was kind of weird to me. I know y'all covered that a long time ago.
Yeah,
I think that played a part too.
A couple of years ago, the Ja Morant said, "I'm fine in the West. I might have to worry about Boston, but I'm fine in the West. 0 playoff series wins, 1 head coach fine, and 2 suspensions." Is he fine in the West, Juan?
Nah, he's not fine in the West. Yeah. I mean, for us that love sports and we love to see guys make it and do great, I would love to see him on the Miami Heat, where it's structure, where it's discipline, where basketball has to come first. I would love to see him in that type of situation where they can get some of that junk out of him. But we don't know. I mean, Memphis has to make a major decision on whether or not they want to continue to build around him and kind of go through his antics, or you make a move for him while he still has a little value, because I think he still has some value right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think you can get something for him, and maybe it might be kind of you guys mutual agreement. Hey, I tried it here. I need a new surrounding. I want to try something different. Maybe you can make a move in that sense, because they're 2 totally different teams with and without him. They're going to have to figure it out. 2 totally different teams.
I like it. I like it, Unc. I like it. Hey, Mickey Harrison, I know you're going to see this. Pat, I know you're going to see this. Spoelstra, holla at your boy. My number is still the same. We can go get Ja sometime in the summer. Listen, I put the pieces in place. I make sure he's good away from the court. I got the right kind of people. We don't play no games. We don't do none of that.
Okay.
Ain't gonna be no driving, ain't gonna be no shooting, ain't gonna be throwing on no grenades. We don't do that.
You gonna get him an Uber? You gonna get him an Uber?
Hey,
or get him a driver?
No. I got a driver for him. I got a driver. We'll get him every way he needs to go. We won't even.
Okay.
We don't. Twan, I've been in Miami all my life. I don't even club. I ain't been to club live yet. I just went to booby trap for the first time 2 weeks ago. Boy, I'm 57 years old. So I know if I can get y'all down here to Miami, I can keep him aligned. We got the same goal. I want to see you succeed.
Yeah, he need to hang out with you. He can't hang out with me. I thought I was Mr. South Beach. So you right. Hang out with you. It's better. That's better. I thought I was Mr. South Beach. Yeah.
The
I don't know how you
Cavs,
did
the Cavs beat the Heat.
it.
Hey, no, we don't need to talk about this. Like next segment. Next segment.
Nah,
We don't need to talk about
no
this.
team has ever recovered from a 3-0 deficit in the NBA playoff. The Heat has shown no indication that they'll be the first. Cavs up 3-0, points in the paint today. The Cavs had 60. The Heat had 30. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Twan?
The Heat just don't have enough, unfortunately. Eric Spoelstra was a great coach. He fought this hard to get into the playoff situation. They beat the team like the Bulls, who was kind of probably equal to them, and beat them to get into this playoffs game, this playoff series. They just don't have enough. I mean, I love Bam. I think he's a great piece of the puzzle. I think they got him as being a major centerpiece. I don't think he's that guy. I think he's more of a AB. He's more of a C guy to me because he doesn't dominate the game enough for me. 18 and 10, that's cool. You know, a guy like Bam and the money he's making, he's supposed to be getting 25 and 13. He don't give that to you every night. Getting 16 and 10, that's not gonna get it done to be a list or B list player in this league. Tyler Hero is terrific, obviously 6 man of the year, a great scorer, but he's a 6 man. He can start for you and give you some buckets, but he's a 6 man. That's what that's been his best at in that role. I just don't think they have enough. They're gonna have to try to figure it out. I know they traded for Andrew Wiggins. He could be a good piece of the puzzle. They're gonna have to get lucky in the draft, man. Obviously I won my championship with the Heat. I always root for them. I love Eric Spoelstra and those guys down there. They're gonna have to figure it out to try to get a big superstar to put with this young core. Or they're gonna always be in the mix because they're gonna be a 500 team, 2-3 games under. But to make any real noise, they're gonna have to add some pieces. They kind of stuck in that spot. And it's probably not, you know what, sometimes you need to lose so you can get a higher pick. They kind of stuck because
Yeah.
they put themselves in that
They
12,
played
picking
just
that
well
10,
enough to
11,
stay out of the
12.
damn lottery. They played just well enough to
Yeah,
stay out of the lottery.
and that puts them in the bad position. We see them compete. We see them win big games from time to time. But when you get in the playoff series and you need it, they don't have it. I mean, right now, they don't have the depth. Um, I don't think they have a superstar right now. Like I said, I think Bam is a good player. I think he's a good piece of the puzzle. I think Tyler Hero is great in his role when he can be the 6 man. I think he can always be an instant scorer in his league. I just think they don't have enough to compete at the level that they would like to, that we know how Mickey Harrison, Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, them guys want to. I mean, Jimmy Butler was an exception to the rule. He got this group. Most of these guys played with him, got them to the finals. But they need another piece. That's actually the evidence that I need to show you if you can get another piece with that type of coaching, you can make some moves. But right now they're stuck in sand right now. They're gonna have to figure it out.
Dang.
The moment we've all waited for. Shedeur Sanders is drafted. 144 in the 5th round. The Browns traded up to select him. All these anonymous reports are coming out about Shedeur having bad interviews, especially with the Giants. According to Todd McShay, Shedeur completely bombed his interview with the Giants. He didn't have a great interview with head coach Brian Daboll. The preparation wasn't there for an install package. Daboll called him out, and Sanders didn't like it. Daboll has gone 8-26 over the past two seasons, so he probably knows a thing or two about being unprepared. To be honest with you, I mean, you go 8-26, being unprepared. You will know an unprepared person when you see one. Considering over the last 2 years, that's kind of exactly what you've been. And then there's been reports of him having a big entourage because his brother shoots videos of him being in family. He's with his brother and his family. No drinking, no drugs, no controversy, just living his life. Ocho, I'm going to start with you first.
Yeah.
Hear that he didn't do well in the interview.
Yeah.
He didn't hit it off with Coach Daboll, and seemed like he was unprepared. Didn't like the entourage. Okay, go ahead.
Right. I don't believe it, huh? I don't believe it because every single NFL player, when I say every single, I mean every single, has an entourage. Most of the entourages is family and friends. If it's not family and friends, it's friends that you grew up with.
Right.
Everybody has that. So I'm not sure why that even came into play. And we talk about everybody, regardless of race, regardless of ethnicity, it doesn't matter. So that's one thing. Interview goes bad. Unprepared. Now I'm thinking about a son of one of the greatest players of all time, who's always been prepared and coached and having tutelage from one of the best of all time, and for some reason, all of a sudden, he wasn't prepared for an interview when it comes to the game of football in which he's a quarterback. Again, that's something else that's not believable. Now, you know, media can screw things and report things that obviously aren't true. Bingo, forget that. So he drops to the Cleveland Browns. Round 5, what, pick 144? What was it, 145?
144.
I'm not even tripping at this point. I'm not even tripping at this point because Prime obviously has prepared Shedeur for any and everything, dealing with media, dealing with those that doubt you. So I'm just happy he has this opportunity, because what's happening in this scenario, in this situation, in which I still believe is collusion. I'm not talking about race. I'm not talking about race at all. I'm just saying a collective collusion against Brother Sanders and all the things and just the hype. And listen, the machine, again, I said it last night. We have choices. People choose what they want to see. I said it yesterday. I'm not talking about race at all. One thing for sure, the machine is undefeated and will always remain undefeated. Anytime it feels not really threatened, but there's another name or family that think they can come in and do things their way, they'll humble you. And this was an example of it, that we've never, ever seen before to this magnitude. We've never seen anything like this.
No.
I'm happy for Shedeur. I'm happy for Shiloh. And for Shedeur Sanders getting the opportunity to play for the Cleveland Browns. His situation is simple as put. It's delayed, but it's not denied. It's not about where you go, it's what you do once you get there. So now you know what you need to do. The Browns haven't had a quarterback. They haven't had a sufficient quarterback, a consistent quarterback for
Bernie Kosar.
very long. Hey, since Bernie, for a very long time. This might be their calling. This might be their blessing. This might be his blessing even going there. So I'm happy for him. He's going to do what's necessary. I'm sure he had the chip on his shoulder, and I'm excited because in that AFC North, you know, it runs through Cincinnati. And the only way you're gonna get it done is if you got a quarterback. I just had to add a little piece in there.
I saw that. I saw you throw that in there.
What you think, Antoine?
Honestly, man, guys, to be honest with you, I mean, I feel for him. Obviously, you know, you work so hard, and it's tough when you project to go first round. I had a situation once. It's obviously not the same because basketball is totally different as far as what the number of people that get picked. But I was with my best friend, Nazir Muhammad, was supposed to be picked lottery when he came out. And Nas slid to 29 and just sitting there. And that obviously it was nothing like Shedeur where you had to actually wait a whole nother day to get drafted.
2 days.
But just to see him slide, huh?
You waited 2 days. He got drafted today.
Yeah,
they had to draft Thursday and
so he had to
Friday.
wait 2 days. So it's different. But I think like this, to be honest with you, I think you have to play the game, Shannon, to be honest with you. I think if he would have I'm just gonna play the game till I get drafted. Whatever that would have been, and I think sometimes that's what not, and I'm not sure of this, and you guys could correct me if I'm wrong, because it seemed like I never seen an agent. And obviously I'm watching from afar, I'm watching off TV, on social media.
Right.
Do he have an agent?
I don't know. I mean, Shiloh made a joke talking about our dad was our agent, and we might need to hire a new agent.
Okay, right. I don't know, because I think you know how this is. Sometimes you have an agent; he can tell you the truth behind closed doors of what they're actually saying and what you need to work on. So by Deion being the dad, he probably not really hearing everything. They probably can't tell him, so he's not hearing everything that they're saying. So I think that was probably one mistake, and I don't know if he had an agent or not. So if the agent to kind of buffer that, to talk to him and kind of figure it out. But you got to figure this thing out, man. I think one thing about it, it was about interview. I don't think it's skill set. I mean, he put the numbers up. The numbers speak for themselves. He had the numbers. So we got to look at some of the other stuff. I mean, I worked out for 9 teams when I came out. I interviewed with 9 teams. So you got to go through that process. I'm not sure how he interviewed. Maybe that was a little sketchy. That can rub some GMs and execs the wrong way. You know, sometimes if you don't interview well. Maybe the swagger, what he's coming with. Great family dynamics. His family's going to support him. Obviously, he has a certain swag, a certain aura that he carries with him, which we all love, and we just talked about that. We like that. All 3 of us talk trash. We all celebrated. We all had fun. So we know that. So that's not the problem. We brought our own style. So that wasn't the problem with them. I just felt like they didn't play the game that everybody else played. And they wanted to show them that, look, it's still the NFL. We still run this. You still got to go through this proper pecking order. And I think that's what it was. That's what it looks like. You can't look at if you look at his numbers, his skill development, the guys that got picked perform, all the stuff, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
So it's got to be something behind the scenes. It can't be football ability. It has to be something behind the scenes. That's why I said if he had an agent, maybe somebody that can hear the noise, because he probably didn't hear the real noise.
Correct.
You know what I mean? We on TV watching all the analysts and everybody, but you know, y'all privy to so much information. Y'all only privy to so much. We're not hearing that real noise. You know what I mean? So that's what, and sometimes your agent gets that for you to kind of help you out and maybe help you get your act together. That's why I really wanted to know if he had an agent.
But you know, the funny thing about it, Twan, even at that point, you are who you are. Shedeur is who he is. The Sanders family, they are who they are. That's it. And they've always been unapologetically themselves. And that rubs a lot of people wrong. A lot of people don't like that, including some of those in the NFL. Some of the things that Deion has said in the past, they probably didn't like. They probably didn't like it. You know, he wanted to pull an
Archie and Eli.
Archie Manning. He wanted to pull, you know, with Eli. They probably didn't like it. They quoting tweets that he said a long time ago. And I know, let me tell you why I know this is all collusion. You know, I think about some like going, you know what? I'm not even gonna bring that up. I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm happy he got where he needed to go. This is exactly where we were supposed to land, because I guarantee you, watch it be a blessing in disguise in them never having a quarterback, and all of a sudden, for some reason, Shedeur being the answer for the next decade.
Hope you're right.
Watch.
Can I ask you guys something? I'm a basketball guy. I want to ask you something, Chad. You can answer this because you're talking right now. Can you answer this? Is the Cleveland the right fit for him? Because sometimes let's disregard what number he went. Did he go to a good situation where he can actually be able to showcase himself and have a real opportunity to be a starting quarterback in the NFL? Do you guys like that situation?
If the GM and the owners are competent when his time comes to be able to compete for a starting job, if they continue to build around him, yes, it's the right place. If they continue to do right by the quarterback position, like other teams are doing, like they do for the Mahomes and they do for the Jalen Hurts and they do for, you know, the other quarterbacks, the Jaden Daniels, as you continue to put the pieces to the puzzle around him, while you have a quarterback on a very, very cheap, I hate using that word cheap, but you know, a very affordable contract.
Rookie contract
around him. Yeah, I think he's in the right place. But if they do what they've always done for a very long time, where they've been through 276,000 quarterbacks, then it would be the same process will repeat itself. They had Baker Mayfield. You had the number 1 pick. There was nothing wrong with Baker Mayfield, because look what he's doing in Tampa Bay. So that tells you where the problem lies. That the problem lies with Cleveland internally. Now you got opportunity again. Let's not F it up.
Yeah, I do. I love when the young quarterbacks come in and have an unbelievable support system. Hopefully you have somebody that's really smart schematically, knows how to diagram plays. Ocho knows how to put quarterbacks in the right situation. You have a decent running back. I'm not saying you need Saquon. I mean, although that would be nice to have a Saquon Barkley and a Derrick Henry on a rookie quarterback, but you need quality receivers. You see C.J. Stroud, where he went and had success. Look at the receiving core that he had. You look at Jaden Daniels. Look at the receiving core that he had. The question is, are there enough pieces around any quarterback, regardless if it's a rookie or not? Is there enough pieces around him so he can adequately do what he needs to get done? I think Stefanowski is an unbelievable coach. He's a coach of the year. He knows how to call plays. He knows how to scheme plays. And so now it just comes down to, okay, when you get your opportunity, you got to shine. You got to prepare like there's no tomorrow, because that's already out there, Ocho. You see what they said? He was unprepared. You see what they did, Ocho? See, we already put that out there on you now.
Hey, that's the game, Monk. They're going to play the game. They're going to play the game. There's only one way you could beat the game, Monk. That's in between the lines.
Yeah.
No matter what they say, it blocks out all the noise. You can only beat the game in between the lines. That's it. No matter what they say.
But I will say this, Ocho. I don't know if they're going to allow Bucky to go in and film everything that Shedeur is doing. That's over. That's over. Now, when
that's
you're at
over.
Colorado and your dad's the head coach, they're gonna allow that. That's over with now.
Yeah, I mean they understand that.
But
They
I thought he was
understand
the
that.
I thought he was the video guy. I thought he's the video guy.
No, you can't. You ain't gonna have no
Colorado.
personal
So
video
he's not
guy.
going
Oh
with
no,
him.
you can't do that. Now,
But-
once you enter that building, once you on grounds in that facility, all that's done.
Yeah, and so
that's done.
yeah, and so
Oh, okay.
that's having an entourage. Yeah, I don't, and like I said, I don't know if he went to the building and they tried to go in the meeting rooms and Bucky was trying to capture content. He doesn't have an agent because Time agent was Eugene Parker. Rest his soul. Eugene passed away several years ago, and so I'm sure Time will probably interview somebody now. And I agree with you, Antoine, probably. And that's the thing, because you have an agent and they hear things and they can tell you things. Now they're gonna all the really, really bad stuff, they ain't gonna share that with you because they don't want to mess with you mentally.
Yeah.
But they'll share
Right.
enough of stuff with you so you get the picture and get a great understanding of what's actually going on. So
Hey,
go ahead.
hey, if I'm not mistaken, I saw, obviously my agent was obviously when I first got in the league, with Jerome Stanley, phenomenal dude, did really well for me. On the back end of my career, from the middle on the back end, it was Drew Rosenhaus. And if I'm not mistaken, I saw Drew Rosenhaus post for Shedeur Sanders once he got drafted. So I'm assuming Drew Rosenhaus must be representing Shiloh.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he represents Shedeur though.
Right. I get it. Because, okay, the Browns, the current quarterback room, Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. Deshaun Watson, starter. Flacco is a vet if Deshaun can't go. You got Kenny Pickett, the backup. Dylan Gabriel, rookie. Shedeur, rookie, fifth. What's going on? I mean, damn. What's really going on? What's really going on, Ocho?
Hey, I like to compete. I ain't got no problem with it. I like to compete. Who I need to beat out? I love Kenny Pickett.
I don't know how you beat Deshaun out when he got another $38 million this year and another $40 million next year. How you beat him out?
Deshaun not playing this year.
Okay, he's not gonna play this year. Okay, so now you got
He got
Flacco
ACL,
and
right?
Kenny Pickett.
ACL.
Yeah,
Achilles.
Achilles. Yeah, so listen, I'm
Oh,
gonna
Okay, Keith.
tell you how it's gonna play out.
How it's gonna play
I
out.
love Kenny Pickett. I love Kenny Pickett. I love that brother Gabriel. But Shedeur, if he does what he's supposed to do, we've seen Kenny Pickett already. We haven't seen Dylan Gabriel yet. But I'm just saying, I know probably Flacco's gonna start. He's gonna start. At some point, Shedeur's gonna get a shot. At some point, he's gonna get that shot. And when the door opens,
Let me ask both of you guys. Let me ask both of you guys this: Why would Cleveland do that? Why would Cleveland want a quarterback room with 5 guys? Does that bring up? Does that mean anything when taking him?
3.
Yeah,
they're gonna keep 3.
Oh, okay.
Because Deshaun is not playing this year.
Oh, that's right. I
don't
keep
think
forgetting he's not playing. He's not playing until like
Yeah.
January or February, something like that. You're right. I forgot.
well, he didn't play. You might as well just go ahead and put him on IR and go ahead and let that go. What I don't get, Cleveland, at some point in time, y'all got to stop trading back. Y'all could have had Julio Jones. You traded back. You could have had Travis Hunter and Shedeur, and you traded back. At some point in time, when guys are sitting there waiting for you to take them, take them.
Right.
Take them.
Yeah.
It's okay. But I guess they're looking at it like we're more than one player away. But sometimes that player can help change things around. I don't get it. I don't get what they're doing with this situation. Like you said, Twan, he had an unbelievable college career. He played well at Jackson State, and then they said, well, yes, Jackson State, that's why you're doing that. He goes to Colorado, he puts up exceptional numbers, great completion percentage. He throws guys open. No, he's not the most athletic guy, but he's not a decathlete. He don't need to high jump, long jump, pole vault, shot put, hurdle, 100, 400, 1,500. He don't need to do all that.
Yeah.
All he needs to do, can he take 3? Can he drop back 5? Can he zone read? Can he do the stuff? Can he process information in a hurry?
Yeah.
That's what a quarterback needs. He needs to be confident. He needs to be able to process information in a hurry, and he needs to be able to retain information. I mean, he's shown you he can do that ever since from middle school to high school to college. So let's see if that's transferable. I like to think that it is, but you don't know. Twan, you know this. Same thing with all sports. You don't know what you have in the guy until you get him in your building and put him in your uniform. That's when you
Yes, sir.
100% know for certain what the hell I got.
Yeah.
Because all this other stuff, well, he won this award and he did all this and he did all of that. And I've seen it, having played in the NFL. Guys come in and have all these credentials. And I don't know how hey, somebody gave you a fake passport. Because I don't know how you get all that.
Let me ask you guys in football, is it about the number or is it more about the fit?
Fit. It's always going to be fit.
Yeah.
It's always going to
Yeah,
be fit.
fit.
So
Always.
Do you guys think this? So if you had to grade this fit, what would you guys go right now? I know you got to go compete.
I like
But
New Orleans a
if
little
you had
better.
to grade this
Personally,
fit,
I would have liked New Orleans a little better.
I would like New Orleans better too.
But the thing is now, because Twan, I was telling Ocho last night, is that I went to a team. I was a big wide receiver. I went to one of the 3 teams that had the H-back position. Washington had the H-back position. The Broncos had the H-back position. And the Chargers, San Diego, they were in San Diego then, had the H-back position. Every tight end on the roster got hurt. I'm the biggest receiver. Coach Reeves come, hey, would you be willing to move the H-back?
Oh.
I'm going to catch the ball. Yeah, if you learn the plays, okay. So now, here I am, a big wide receiver. Imagine I don't go to a team that has the H-back position. So I switched midway through, like a third of the way. I have probably like week 8, week 9, week 10. They moved me to like tight end. Ta-da. And the rest of that, they say history. So it's absolutely where you go. Not a lot. I get it, because a lot of times, Twan, you know this. First 4 or 5 picks, they get a boatload of money. Now, you want to make a boatload of money for a short period of time, for an extended period of time. Because I had a 14-year career. There are a lot of guys that went in the first round, Ocho. They made money for a 3-4 year period. I made money for a 14-year period. It's not how much money you make, it's how long you make money. And then what are you going to do? It's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep. So it's absolutely, Twan, fit where you go, that fit.
And what they do for you while you're there.
And it's better for him too, though. And he's made a little money in the NIL space too, so he's okay. He's made a little money.
Had he known what he known, he'd have stayed in college and made some more NIL money. He like, hell, if y'all gonna take me to the 5th round, he made more in NIL than what his rookie contract gonna be, Ocho.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is right.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. But listen, I think the situation in general is good for him. It puts a chip on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh, this is how you feel about me? Okay, bet. Hold my beer. I got this. Watch me. I've faced adversity before. I've had to hurdle obstacles before. This is just another one that's in the way. I'm going to show you. I'm going to prove to you that I'm worthy of doing all the things you said I can't. Oh, you feel I'm a 5th round pick? I'm a 5th rounder? Okay, bet.
Yeah.
I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping at all. Again, Shedeur's chat. I know y'all can hear me. Shedeur's situation is simple as this. It was delayed. He wasn't denied. That's all.
Yeah. Now
Delayed,
when you get
but not
there,
denied.
hey, do what you're supposed to do, and everything else will take care of itself. Won't nobody care where you got drafted at, and he had to wait and was so disappointed, and they prank calling him and doing all this other stuff. When you go do what you need to do, everything is fine. Everything will work itself out. Speaking of Trav, the Jaguars are 100% committed to Travis Hunter, letting him play wide receiver and corner. They told him, you got a bold vision, and we got a bold vision for you.
Yeah.
Ocho?
Yeah.
What you thinking?
I like what you mean what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Duval, man. I like it. Listen, he said it not only during the interview process, allow him to do what he has dreamed of and been working on the entirety of his career so far. I mean, as far as collegiate-wise, he said he has a belief and believes. He believes. That's the one thing that you need in anything that you do, regardless of whether it's the corporate world or whether it's sports. If I believe I can do it, I can achieve it. You and I, we have different beliefs on whether you can do it at this level, but we're going to find out now. We're going to find out if you can play both sides of the ball. I like the fact that the owners, the GMs, and everyone else inside that locker room are going to allow him to do exactly what he did in college. To what extent, I'm not sure.
Right.
To what extent, I'm not sure. I think they gave a brief press conference on ways they can figure out on how to do it. I'm just excited for him, man. I'm happy for Trav. I'm happy for the Jaguars. I'm happy for the fans in that city, especially the city itself, man. They got a good one. He gonna put some butts in the seats, and he gonna make it exciting for the next decade.
I got a question for you guys. Just as football guys, just honestly, which if you guys know how talented he is and how good he is, which one he's best at? Which one do you think he can be which one you think he can be great at? I know you don't want. It's hard to pick one side, but I'm pretty sure he's better on one side than the other.
For me, I
like him at DB.
I do too.
I
think he has incredible instincts. I think his instincts are crazy. The way he can see and his recognition to see this and diagnose it. And that's what the really great corners can do, Twan, is that they can see a formation, they'll see a split, and they'll know automatically what's coming. So I look at this split, I look at these two receivers over here. I might take a glance over there. I go, okay, I got something for y'all. Run it if you want to. Run it if you want to. Try to run me off deep and try to run this sail right there behind it and watch what I do to it. So I think he has unbelievable instincts, unbelievable recognition, and you build a package around him. And Ocho, remember we talked about Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah,
he's there. He's not better than Brian Thomas Jr. He's not.
No.
He's not. He's phenomenal. Brian Thomas Jr. is he that guy.
Listen, Antoine, Brian Thomas Jr. is one of those receivers that would probably be a top 5 receiver. Maybe after this year, he's that good.
Yeah.
Out of LSU, and you already know what LSU produced.
Yeah.
He wanted them ones.
Well, he probably could be third down special packages, right?
Yeah, but see, people when Ocho and we try to explain to people, build a package. You have a third down package, or you have a specialty package, a group of plays that you feel comfortable with him. Maybe it's in the red zone, maybe it's in certain areas of the field, certain situations. But people are like, nah, just let him play as much as he want to play.
No.
Okay.
You can't run him into the ground. You want him to play and make sure he's efficient on both sides of the ball.
Yes.
You want him to be efficient. Can he handle
that physicality? Is his body makeup ready for that physicality?
It's the mental approach, because you got to study. I mean, like I said, okay, we're saying one thing, Ocho, about route recognition as the DB, but you have to understand also, you have to understand coverages from a wide receiver perspective.
Right.
You have to understand. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, you play in Miami. Okay, you guard Tyreek for 10, 12 plays, and now you got to go up against Jalen Ramsey. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You guard Zay Flowers, and you guard Bashar Bateman, and then you got to go up against Marlon Humphrey and Wiggins. So you got to be, because look, there are very few teams in college that had an elite corner and an elite DB.
You're going to get it every week now.
You get it every week. Even if the guys aren't Pat Surtain, they're really good. So now you got Nico, and now you got Darryl Stingley, and you got Stingley.
Ooh, that's a nasty combo.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, ain't no nights off.
No.
Ain't no Sundays off. I'm sorry. Ain't no
Sunday and Mondays. Ocho. Lawrence Taylor has officially said no to Abdul Carter wearing 56 per New York Post. I know he would love to wear that number, but hey, I think it's retired. Get another number. I don't care if it's 00 and make it famous. This is what Abdul Carter wrote. The worst thing he could have said was, no, my stance doesn't change. LT GOAT, nothing but respect. This is just going to make me work even harder. Love it. Ocho, I said it. I said, look, me personally, Ocho, I don't even know why he would want that number. Because do you understand? That's like a kid going to Chicago and say, hey, let me get 23.
Right.
Or you going to LA and says, okay, can I get 8, 24? Can I get 33? Could I get 34? Could I get 32? I'm trying to figure out what?
Right.
But Chad, let me tell you this. When I got drafted by the Celtics, this is a true story. It's crazy that you just brought up. So they call you, get drafted, you go back there, they say, hey, we got to get this jersey printed. What number you want? I say, well, I want 24 in college. They like, well, that's definitely not available. I said, wow. Because you got Cousy, you got Bird, you got McHale, you got Parrish, you got Dennis Johnson.
Sam Jones, Casey Jones, Havlicek, Cowens. Bill Sharman,
number.
Tom Heinsohn, Bill Russell.
You know what they told me? How about we tell you what's the numbers available?
Damn.
They said the Celtics told me we're gonna tell you what numbers are available. That's how many numbers were retired. So I respect that LT didn't give his number up. Those guys have earned that right. They've blood, sweat, and tears in them numbers. They deserve to stay up there forever. So I respect that.
I think Abdul Carter, but people don't understand. LT is the only player ever to be Defensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season.
Yeah.
He's one of 2 men in the 100+ year history of the NFL to win the MVP as a defensive player. He and Alan Page. Do you understand what that means? So that means that the guy that wins the Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie, he's also going to be Defensive Player of the Year of the entire league.
And you know what the funny thing about it is, even if I was a player, and I respect Abdul Carter for wanting to wear 56, even if I was a player, I wouldn't want to be in those shoes.
No,
not in that market. In that market, in that media market, that means not only are you a high pick, then you have to meet expectations every week. There is no room for error.
Yep.
There is no room for error wearing 56 if he did grace you the opportunity to wear 56, because at every turn and corner, at every minute, they're going to have a magnifying glass on your ass.
Ocho.
As great as you are coming out.
Ocho.
If anything, what I'd rather do, pick your own number and make it famous.
Imagine going to San Francisco, you will receive and say, hey, can I get 80? Why not, Ocho? Be damn. Hey, Ocho.
I don't even want that pressure.
No.
I don't want that pressure.
I mean,
I understand though. The way you guys break it down, it makes a lot of sense why a kid would want certain people numbers. Yeah, you're right. It's a handful of guys you don't want to put that number on.
Yeah. Hey, Twine, it's certain shoes I don't want to feel, bro.
I agree.
If I was a hooper, like Unc said, if I was a hooper and I happened to go to Chicago, just hypothetically
I ain't want no number that 20.
I'm not asking to wear 23.
I don't want nothing with a 2 in it. Hey, that's too close to 23. I don't want 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26. I don't want nothing with a 2 in it. I ain't messing with that. Ocho.
Oh, yeah, you right.
Yeah.
Twan, let me know what you think. We got a Twitter debate for the ages, and it started this week, and everyone is asking us to weigh in. It began. Do you think 100 ninjas could beat one gorilla? Everybody just got to be dedicated to this. No.
Yeah, dedicated to death.
Hold on.
Dedicated to death.
Hold on. Are you talking about a chimpanzee, or are they talking about a silverback?
No. He said a gorilla.
So a silverback.
It's only one kind of gorilla. A silverback.
Well, I want to be 100. I want to be 100. I'm not going to be in that first 15.
But listen, it don't matter what number you are. I don't think people are really underestimating the strength of a silverback gorilla in general.
Bro, he gonna hurt.
You don't.
He don't fight fair.
They can hurt you.
Nah. 100?
100.
I don't care.
It don't matter.
Hey, you better get 1,000. And you talk about just what they gonna do with him.
No. Everybody dying.
Once they see, but first of all,
we got to be dedicated.
Twan, what's gonna happen? The first guy, that next patch, they see what he do to that first 10. They're like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
It's so funny when we look at these hypotheticals, especially when they come across Twitter, and sometimes it's outlandish because you just view a gorilla and be like, oh, 100 of us could actually take that, and you really don't understand the type of power.
One punch, you're gonna kill a man.
Kill? Boy, you out of there.
One punch. Hey, watch them. Look at them when they fighting in the wild and see how they hit each other.
And the wild. Hey, Twan, you ever seen the clip? The gorillas, they going at it in the zoo, and the lady screaming behind the wall.
Yeah, somebody get it, break it up.
Somebody do something, come break it up. Listen, you can see the power in them two out there tussling. You can feel the power, and it's just a video. And a human being? Man, stop playing. That's a good one.
I don't want no smoke.
Like I said, I want to be 99 or 100 because after he went them 98, I'm gone. He beat 100, but 2 of us he ain't never touched.
Hey, somebody got to live to tell a story. That's gonna be me.
Man, he was slinging them. I was like, oh my goodness. He bit somebody, Ocho, he bit somebody arm off. He ripped the eye. I was like, oh my goodness. He pulled somebody arm.
Go ahead, Ocho. Go ahead, Ocho. Ocho, you be boxing. Go ahead, Ocho. Go on in there.
No. I'm gonna be one on the end, on the tail end. I'm gonna be the one to tell a story so I can tell. I can speak at everybody's funeral.
Yeah.
Tell them what happened. I don't want no part of that.
Absolutely not. All right. Last segment of the night is time for Q and A.
Oh man, tonight was good. Well, I felt like Doris Burke, boy. I'm talking basketball like I played.
Doris Burke good though. I like Doris Burke.
Oh yeah, DB be on it now.
Hey, she nice with
she's
it.
Good. She's good.
Gold standard. When are you gonna finally admit Jordan is the GOAT? Never.
You don't think Jordan the GOAT?
GOAT James. GOAT James.
Okay.
James Coleman said,
hey,
Rockets, Sprockets, Hot Pockets, Warriors in 5.
Okay.
Marcel said, we never talk about the fact that from an organization point of view, Kawhi did what Joel should have done for his employer with not going to the Olympics. Kawhi didn't start the season. Now look at him. And Joel was the opposite. I agree. Twan, let me know what you think. We saw Joel limp out of the season last year. He was probably what you think? 2 years, 50%, 60% on that leg? Instead of taking time off, having a surgery or just rest and recovery, he goes to the Olympics and he comes into the season hobbled. Well, if you limp into the season, you're going to limp out of it because it's hard to get healthy when you're playing every other night. What do you think? How should Joel, and I understand the Americans wanted because you had Yoke and they wanted somebody to be able to bang with Yoke, but as a player, selfishly, as an ownership, how do you think Joel, if you're Joel, how do you handle it? Let's forget what they should have done. If you're Joel Embiid, how do you handle it?
I would have said, listen, Grant Hill, I would have told Grant Hill, look, I would love to play, but I got to be healthy come the season. These guys, the ones paying me, I need to be 100%. Is there any way I still could be on the team, go on the trip, participate, maybe even practice a little bit, but I got to sit out. I'm not going to take a chance of getting hurt and furthering myself. And I don't know if they would have did that, but I would have took the recognition of making the team, but I would have not been able to play. Kind of remember when Bird played and they just kind of just set Bird, his back was, you know what I mean? I'm on
like it was more ceremony.
Yeah, I'm on a team. I'm you know what I mean? I still want to go with the guys. I want to go to Paris. I want to go through the whole procedure. I just bring my own doctor on the road, my own workout guys. They work me out on the other end of the court while we practicing and put somebody in that spot. But at least let me still be a part of the, I want to hang out with the guys. I want to spend the summer with the guys and still hang out with them. But I would have said my obligation is to my team to be healthy to start the season. We got Paul George. We're trying to do something special. We got Maxey. We think we got a chance to compete with the Celtics in the Eastern Conference. That's what I would have did. Because I know it's an honor to be able to play an Olympic team. I know guys want to be able to do that and put that on their resume. So you know that feels. So I would have just tried to figure out a way I still could be a part of it, but not actually participating and playing. And I think they probably would have let them do it. I don't know for sure if they would have did it, but they probably would have let them come and still been a part of the team and still work out with the guys. But I wouldn't have put that pressure on my knee.
Truth and Antoine made me become C's fans. He's asking if they go back to back, do you think they keep the same team together and try to go for the three-peat?
Depending, they got new ownership group. People got to understand that. So this is new guys coming in.
Right.
I don't know what their bottom line is going to be financially. We know they're paying the pretty penny.
They got two guys making $300 million, and they got two guys making excess of $100 million, and Al Horford is making $30-40 million a season.
Yeah, they got
Porzingis.
And Derek White. They're paying 7 guys. To be honest, they're paying 7 guys. They're paying 7 guys. They're paying 7 guys, Chad, top money. So, I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, we know it's hard in basketball with the salary cap and all that. It's going to be tough. It's up to the new owners and what they feel. If they want to see if they can get them a championship under their belt and pay that luxury tax and comfortable doing that, starting off in the negative. If that's what they want to do, start off in the negative. But it all depends. With the jury's still out on the ownership. This new ownership package group we got. We got to see how they feel. It's really on them, because you got to think the Celtics and the Celtics don't have their own arena. That's the problem right now. The Celtics don't have their own arena. They're sharing that. And so I don't know what this group's going to do.
Hey, that's funny when you think about it. Twan, even though they have a new group, even though they're paying 7 players top dollar and top money, if the reward of what you're paying brings you a championship, why not keep doing it? Why not stick with it?
Because you're losing money. You got Jason Tatum making $314, Jaylen Brown making $306. You got True Holiday making $130, Derek White making $120, Porzingis making probably about $35. You got Al Horford making about $30, Peyton Pritchard making good money. So let's just say for the sake of argument, how much money am I making by winning that championship?
It got to balance out.
Wait, hold on. I thought that was the end goal. So what is the end goal as a GM? What is the end goal as ownership?
I want to make money and win a championship. I want to win.
That ain't how it works. Well, this ain't 2K.
Well, I ain't trying. If I spend $6 billion for something, I ain't trying to lose money.
And I know this. You watch the game. I think at some point the Celtics are going to have to make a decision. It's going to be really impossible to fulfill $200-300 million contracts for its entirety. I think eventually they're going to have to make a decision on which one they're going to keep. They're going to have to get off one of them. And I think they kept it to be able to win one more. And then I think they're going to think about it. Like I said, I think they're paying too many guys. They're going to have to trade or bust a move or do something and break it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. And the new ownership group is going to probably do that. Think about this, Chad. The Dallas Mavericks traded Luka. They traded Luka.
That's crazy.
Because they knew they had to pay him $350. Luka was going to make $350 next year. They cost Luka $116 million by trading him.
That's crazy.
More than that when you pay California taxes.
Yeah, that new ownership group traded him. They got off that money.
Chris 2K Great said Antoine asks great football questions. Make him a regular. Yeah, you can tell Twan likes the game of football. He's done unbelievable tonight. Appreciate that, Twan. Jamal the singer says Shedeur Sanders, Bernie Sanders, Colonel Sanders. Lions for the Super Bowl.
Oh, that was a great. Oh, yeah, I like that. Yeah, you got some great takes. I'm gonna give you good credit. You got some great takes.
I need to Lakers to win tomorrow so I can have another one. How can people be surprised? How can people be surprised? Shedeur dropped so far, knowing there was no team that had a great pre-draft interview with him.
Man,
yeah, can y'all guys trying to hit? Can you guys explain what y'all interview process go through?
Man, F that interview, man. That interview don't mean nothing.
If you're a quarterback, if they're a quarterback, they'll give you a play. They'll call a play.
Oh, yeah.
They'll want you to repeat said play.
Yeah.
Then they already told you to say, okay, this is our play right here. It's called such and such, blah, 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 blah. Okay, here it is. They let you see it on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Now, they have you regurgitate what that play is and go draw it up on the blackboard.
Yeah. And then go through your process, go through your reads. If they do this defensively, where you going with the ball? But if they do this, where you going with the ball? Like that, like I understand that part of the interview process, but listen, you have people you go in that interview process and they perfect. You get their ass on the field, can't play worth a damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that interview process to me, man, that you know what, that don't mean nothing to me. What you look like when you turn the film on? What you look like when you play against better competition? What you look like when you play against competition that's inferior? That's what matters. I don't want to hear nothing about going to no goddamn board or me asking you questions and how you talk back to me. That's not winning me no fucking games. What do you do when the goddamn whistle blows at 1 o'clock on Sunday?
Because
I hate these dumbass excuses they giving, man.
There's another question that somebody made, but his numbers don't just sometimes your numbers stand out where you like this guy really can play. So his numbers are relevant in this draft process.
I guess they weren't. I mean, sometimes people take the numbers. Sometimes people take the combine. Sometimes people take the interview. You like to have everything lines up. Guy plays well on the field. Guy goes to the combine, shows up. You bring him into your building. You're like, yep, love everything about him. Sometimes the guy have 2 or 3. Sometimes the guy have 1 or 3. Then you have to make a decision. Is this the right guy for us? OUSS 2004, honest question. Why can't people criticize Shedeur? His stock plummeted once the football stopped and the conversation started. Well, I mean,
you can criticize everybody. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, I agree.
That's fine. Everybody's worthy of criticism.
1000%.
But I think I don't mind the criticism. I think it's about if the next guy got picked and he's better than me, then I can respect that. I think from my understanding, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the guys that got picked ahead of him, I don't think you guys have them. From what I'm hearing from most people, they didn't grade out better than they weren't graded. They didn't grade out better than him.
Yeah, but you see what he said, Ocho. He said once football stopped, but he's a football player, and we're supposed to be having a conversation. We're supposed to be critiquing him on football, not the conversation surrounding football. Okay, what about? So what did he not play well? Did he not? I mean. I get it. Look, I mean, sometimes guys get nervous. Sometimes guys don't test well, and that's okay. Look, I don't need a guy to take the SAT. I need a guy to be able to play well on Sundays and Mondays.
And I think
that's all that matters.
Hey, too. I think
Thursday night.
I think Chad, we need to make this a topic. These execs have to understand too. It is NIL money now. It's real money guys are getting in school. So yeah, you're gonna see a Maybach. You're going to see a diamond chain. You're going to see a Rolex. You're going to see all these things before that big NFL paycheck because they already getting money. So you can't judge a guy because he went out and bought himself some nice things. He's earned that money. And I think the execs got to understand that too. They have to realize too, guys are going to have already made it. They already live in a nice house. They already have nice things. So you can't hold that against them. That's part of the game now. On the collegiate level, that's part of the game now. You get NIL money. So you can't knock this guy because he's getting money and he got a nice chain. He got a nice watch. Of course, that's the things that we want.
Yes.
We different. That's how we go, especially in a black culture. Y'all know, that's the first thing I want.
We ain't
first
have
thing
it.
I wanted was a Rolex.
I
wanted me a Rolex. I got that. I wanted me a Rolex. I wanted me a car. I want the Benz. I want the Maybach. That's what I want. The first thing.
Yeah.
So I think they looking at that too because he had style, he had flash already. But that's the game now. NIL money.
Yep.
It ain't like and his daddy played. How about his daddy played football for 20 years and made a ton of money and played
he played baseball.
And what if he wanted to buy for him? What if he wanted to buy his son a bunch of stuff?
Yeah.
So I just think, I hate when it just get outside the football ability. That's why I was so curious to hear you guys' comment about it as far as football, because it seemed from what I watched this year, he was one of the top quarterbacks in football. He won 144. He shouldn't have been picked 144. I know that.
Absolutely not.
Mark Jasmine said, my new sports center, Nightcap. Serial P, please play for my daughter, who's a sophomore at Michigan State and taking finals this week. We will be at your Detroit show. Cyril, thank you very much. And we are praying for your daughter, and I know she's going to knock it out of the park taking those finals. Cupcake Mama, good evening, guys. If life had playoffs, what moment in your life would be your championship win?
Ooh.
What moment in life would be my championship win? When
go ahead, Chad. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you, my Super Bowl and my championship win is coming up in 2026 when I walk down that aisle. Yeah, because it finally is that I finally got something in life that gives me structure. Something that gives me purpose. You feel me?
I got
that.
Hold on, help me out. You get married in 26? 26? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations, my brother. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna have open bar, so all y'all can come. Twan,
you don't drink. You don't drink though, bro. You don't drink.
It's for the guests.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's for the guests. Then I'm gonna have Frankie Beverly and Mays. I'm gonna have them come
Now
play the whole time.
you gonna have Mays because unfortunately Frankie
Mays.
Beverly is
Yo, not
passed.
Frankie Beverly. I mean, I'm gonna have Mays. Hey, it's gonna be. Come on, yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Come on, up.
Nah, he just crushed you. He just crushed you. He just crushed you.
He crushed me bad. I crushed you bad. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Frankie. Rest in peace. Oh, that's a good one.
That's good. No,
T-
for me, we them 2 kids of mine, my 2 daughters. That's it for me. My 2 daughters. That's a do it for me.
I think we know my championship moment. TJ said, Ocho, I need that Corey Dillon jersey with your signature on it.
Oh no, boy. Hey, that's a classic. That CD jersey. I got it hanging up there for a reason. CD, this is the last jersey he wore when he was in Cincinnati. He took it off and threw his pads in the stands before he left. That's the jersey he had on. I ain't letting that go nowhere.
Yeah.
If ever, boy, please.
Hey, Ocho, tell him I follow hard times. I might have to auction. I might have to Sotheby's. That's the last jersey Corey Dillon wore.
Hey, boy, that ain't going nowhere, boy. Absolutely not. No, sir.
That concludes this episode of Nightcap. Guys, thank you for joining us for another episode of Nightcap. I am your host, your favorite unk, Shannon Sharpe. My partner, co-host, number 85, Liberty City's own, Bingo Ring of Fame honoree, Pro Bowler, All-Pro, Chad Ochocinco Johnson. And joining us tonight, man, great conversation on basketball and very, very knowledgeable about the game of football. Asked some very interesting questions of Ocho and I. He won an NCAA championship in '96 at Kentucky. He won an NBA championship in 2006 with the Miami Heat. He is a 17.5-point scorer throughout his NBA career. Had an unbelievable career. Antoine Walker. Twan, thank you for joining us. Man, come back and join us again soon.
Oh, hey,
yes, sir.
I'm tripping.
What?
I'm tripping. I did this with everybody that came on here. Twan, we would have played one-on-one right now till 11. You think you'll beat me?
Nah, you work out too much for me. I play golf, Chad. I play golf too much. But you know what, Chad? I ain't never seen you shoot or nothing like that. So I don't know if you skilled enough. I just know you work out a lot. I know you box and work out a lot. I'm on that golf course, man. I'm drinking a little.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
Matter of fact, I need a couple bottles, Now I do a little sipping myself. I do a little sipping. Now.
I got you.
I need a couple bottles. I need a couple.
All right, send your. I'll send it down there to you. Give your address to Ash, and we'll get that to you.
Okay, I need a couple.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit the like button and go subscribe to the Nightcap podcast feed wherever you get your podcast from. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you for your continued support, because without you, there can be no us. Ocho and I, we greatly, greatly appreciate everybody at Nightcap. Appreciate your support, and hopefully we'll get your continued support. Please make sure you go check out Shea by Le Portier. Now, we do have it in stock, and if you cannot find it in a city or a state near you, order it online. We will ship it directly to your door. Please drink responsibly and stay safe. Go check out my media company, Shea Media, on all of its platforms, and my clothing company, 84 with 84 being spelled out. Everything has restocked. The link is pinned in the chat, and supplies are very limited. And once they're gone, they're gone. So please get yours while supplies last. Tickets for Not Safe for Work tour are on sale now. 8 stops: Baltimore, Philly, Charlotte, Los Angeles, Miami, Chicago, and Detroit. Tickets can be found at shayshaymedia.com/tour. That's shayshaymedia.com/tour. The link is also pinned in the chat. Dress lineups are looking great. Go get your tickets now to come out and see you guys, Unc and Ocho, and be supportive. Thank you again very, very much. Shedeur Sanders, after a long, long wait, got drafted by the Cleveland Browns at pick 144. The Warriors beat the Rockets 104-93, thanks to Steph Curry, 36 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. The Nuggets clip the Clippers. Aaron Gordon dunks the basketball as the buzzer goes off. They win 101-99, thanks to Nikola Jokic, 36 points, 21 rebounds, 8 assists. And who else we had? Thunder sweep the Grizzlies, thanks to Shai Gilgeous having 38. Minus Ja, you know they didn't have much of a chance. And the Cavs go up 3-0 as they blow out the Miami Heat. I'm
You ain't had to say it like that.
I'm Unc. He's Ocho. Thank you, Twan, for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow night after the Lakers tie this thing up.
All right, Twan.
All right, baby.
Yo.